Hello, welcome to Humblewood, our weekly, sometimes 5e D&D campaign where we all play cute woodland animals trying to solve a mysterious fire situation presently.
I don't think we can be considered cute after last session, I'll be real honest.
Mostly cute, sometimes gory.
Sometimes horrific.
It's like Cult of the Lamb. You know, low column A,
Yeah.
low column B.
Yeah. They can exist simultaneously. I'm Abby, the Dungeon Master, and I have 4 lovely players, of which will introduce themselves, their characters, and will answer the question, if you could shoot anything from a cannon, what would you pick?
Ugh, easy, I'll go first. Okay. My name is Sean, I am the Riddle Master, and I play Ori Whitewing, a fighter and guardian of the forest, as well as recent tender to the forest. And if Ori could shoot anything out of a cannon, he would shoot beer out of a cannon. Give it to the masses, make it rain alcohol for everyone. I will now popcorn Mungojerry. Think quickly.
You're
Oh no,
muted.
you're muted. Oh.
Oh, and so are you, Logan.
No,
I'm
just wasn't
Sarah,
talking.
and I play Mungojerry Corriefeather, the Gallus bard, tea drinker extraordinaire, and current creator of the best musical to ever exist. He probably would. It would have to be theatrical. It would be theatrical canon situation. So like circus performers out of a cannon, you know, the street kids trained in the circus.
You're shooting children out of a cannon. Great. Okay, let me write that down for future reference.
Yeah, it's a circus cannon, so no children would be harmed. Yeah, I'm gonna stand by that answer. Popcorn Rutherford.
Hi, I'm Connor. I play Rutherford, the Vulpin arcane trickster rogue. I think that what Rutherford would fire out of a cannon traditionally would be cannonballs. Be aimed at the enemy, but this past week he has been frustrated with bureaucracy and the dean of the whole kit and caboodle here.
Yeah, AVM.
It's not different schools though, right? It's all the AVM. So it's the guy on top of everything, the dean of the AVM. I want to load him into a cannon and just yeet him the hell out of here.
So toodaloo!
Toodaloo! Exactly.
Just in the distance.
Popcorn Bohuckle.
Hello, my name is Logan. I play Bohuckle. What am I gonna say that's funny? I don't know.
Well, now
the
it's not
certified
funny.
juice expert of the group. Let's see. What would I shoot out of a cannon? I'm gonna go a similar route as Mungojerry. Less weapon cannon, more like fun cannon, and I would shoot Iggy and Bob's 7 children. It would be like a fun thing for them to do.
Yeah, it would be like a great day for the kids.
Because they're not
they land
birds,
in a
so they
trampoline.
they can't fly, so it'd be fun for them.
It'd be like Mungojerry and Bohuckle's theme park.
Yeah. And if we put the
It's
cannon
like a
opposite,
flea
it can
circus,
just
but for
shoot
children.
back and forth forever.
Yeah.
How do you get off the ride?
You put less gunpowder in the cannon.
Or more. It just can't be the correct amount.
Yeah,
Perfect.
you just turn one.
Fantastic.
Land in the river.
Logan, would you do the recap? Honors, please.
We came to the world's worst place, the AVM. On the way, we were accosted and dealt with it, no problem. We made some people have less body parts on our way, but they probably deserved it. Then we found some fun little sheriffs Did they do anything important? I don't think so. They just revealed to us that they were sheriffs.
No, we just now have a little image of a side quest of them following behind us and just wondering what we're doing the whole time.
Exactly. Then we got to the AVM. We met with the dean on an elevator, and then he kept kicking us out of the elevator. Then we met with the librarian, who's very unhelpful. And everyone in this place is very unhelpful. And we need to organize a whole school to come and research with us. And they're all very unhelpful. We met Amanda, I don't know, Lemon Brains or something like that. And her dead boyfriend, Figgery Figgins, who's the announcer at the school.
We
and
did not
spreading
meet
lies
him.
and slander. We have not met him. We have learned about him. And that's really important things happened.
Okay.
I don't think I'm leaving anything out. Mungojerry
that
can
sounds
get off
great.
of the ground now. I guess that's a big development.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I can. I now have a ring that gives me the ability to do what I've always been able to do.
Believe in yourself.
Physically always been able to do, but mentally not prepared.
unable. Yeah. So that's great.
That is great. Perfect. And I think we left off last session. You got kicked out of the library, and then you all went to the cafeteria and met Amanda.
Lemon Brain.
No, Merriweather.
That's just
Told you about Figgery Figgins, and then you all headed to your dorm room. They have like two. I guess they've put you in a dorm room that has like the split room, so it can have 4 people. So there's like a room for 2 beds and a room for 2 beds, like a shared living space. Is there anything you want to do at night? It seems like mostly the AVM kind of closes down. Like you won't be able to access a bunch of areas at night, but do you want to
We need to
plan
go investigate
or
Figgery Figgins.
Yeah, we're
and
going
Nighttime
to
is the best place to
Figgery
do it.
Figgins is
Night's the
top
best
of
time to sleuth. So
top of
Yup.
mind. I feel like you said the dorms were just divided between girls and boys. Was that what
Mhm.
we heard?
and that Figgery's door had his name on it. I
Yeah.
remember that being said. So it should be relatively easy to track down.
Yeah,
I want to come on this expedition. I will shed my armor so I'm not playing it around.
Yes, I would like to go visit Figgery Figgins.
Okay. Make an investigation check, somebody.
May I have the
I'll
honors?
help.
You may.
Oh, what I get? It's an 18. There we go.
18. Nice. You find a door in the first year dormitory boys side that has Figgery's name on it, as well as I guess 3 other people's names. And they're on like
Quick,
cute
come
little.
up with them on the spot.
Nope. They they have cute little plaques that are like navy blue and they have like yellow stars on them, very wizard themed. But like wizard themed for children.
Oh, isn't this adorable? Except not everybody in the school studies magic, so I feel betrayed.
I forgot we learned that.
Yeah, do other doors have like
Yeah, can we tell what people study by their plaques?
No, they're all the same.
Is this just
Really
the
goes to
wizard
show
wing?
what they think
or-
is important.
Apparently it doesn't matter now. Is the door locked?
Yes.
Is it
Well.
knockable?
It is knockable.
Jesus.
Yoo-hoo!
Do any of their names scream Gallus to me?
Oh,
No.
good
Or is
point.
Figgery a Gallus?
No.
What is Figgery?
I don't know if you know.
Okay.
I'll knock on this door. Yoo-hoo!
You knock on the door, you don't hear anything, and then you hear like some shuffling. And then the door opens like the tiniest crack, and you see very far down below you, like, I don't know, 2 feet off the ground or something. This
2
tiny
feet.
little gerbine is like peeking through. You can just see the eyeball peeking through.
What are you
Okay.
doing down there?
Who are you? What do you want?
We're here on an errand of love.
Oh goodness.
And I want to, like, when I say of love, my hand hits the door.
Knocks the door open.
Knocks the door open.
Make a just roll out strength.
Yay! I'm great at strength. Okay. 7!
7. Let me have him roll. You knock the door, and you can feel him catch. He is surprisingly strong for a tiny gerbine.
Oh, baby. Whoa, he was working out. And then
He's
I
in
turned
college
to both
now.
of you.
And the door pushes against you and closes. You can hear it lock again. He's like, "What about this mission of love? What are you talking about?"
And I.
It's Figgery in there. We just need to talk to Figgery.
Yeah, Figure's got his girlfriend Amanda, and I come bearing a love letter written especially for him.
You can put it under the door.
I cannot. I swore that I would hand it only to Figgery himself.
The door opens a crack, and you see a tiny paw stick out. I'm
That
Figgery.
Are you Figgery?
Yeah.
Oh,
Is it a Gerbine paw?
Yeah.
Can I push this door open?
Roll strength.
an errand of love.
I will help.
No.
I'll get down next to the next Gerbine. Oh wait. Is that assault?
I think we're really, really towing that line.
We're really towing that line, and I was about to blow full past it, so
Yeah.
I'll hold back from that. I'll just get down to eye level with
Yeah.
this little.
As you
Gerbine.
get down, you can see you knew his description. Amanda described him as like kind of a like blonde person, like very light colored hair, I think. Or not, or now she has. And you can see that his fur is very light, but his skin is like way more pale than it should be, and he's got like big old bags under his little mousy eyes.
Wait, is this
Um,
actually Figgery?
You don't know what figure he looks like, but he says he's figurey.
Figuratively?
Zone of truth.
My goodness.
But he's got his paw sticking out, and you can see his little like droopy eyes as he peeks out and like, "Give me the letter."
Oh, that's. What do you look like that for? Are you sick? I haven't told you sick. I'm a famous healer. You should let me come in and take a look at you. You look as rotten as an egg. You're about to crack.
While this conversation is happening, I would
Uh-huh.
like to have my mage hand slip in through the door and onto the other side of the wall.
Okay, it's invisible.
It is in fact invisible.
Yeah, perfect. You got it. Bohuckle, make a persuasion check.
I will help you with that, and I'll be like, "Oh, you can't be looking like this when you have a fine Gerbine in love with you. We're gonna, let us in and we'll help you spruce you up a little bit."
Can I instead use. This isn't mechanically different, but narratively, I want to make it intimidation and be like, "You don't know what's good for you. I'm a good healer. You better open up this door and let me take a look at you."
Yeah, you can.
Ooh.
16. Okay. You see his skin drain fully of color. It was drained some, but now it's fully, and he goes
I didn't
really
know he
pale.
could get any paler.
And he's like, "You think there's something wrong with me? I thought I was just sick. Here, come in. And he opens.
Those two mean the same thing.
Sick means temporarily wrong with.
So always. Anyway, bam! We open the door and we come in.
That's not worrisome at all.
Okay. He goes and sits on his bed, and then it still looks frightened, but does not say anything.
Where are there other people in this room?
No.
Can I take a gander briefly to see if there are context clues to suggest this is Figgery. Like maybe his little name tag on a backpack. Maybe like his mom embroidered his pillowcase or something like that.
Yeah, make a perception check.
22.
Wow.
Yeah, he has his academy badge, and it's like on his like strapped to a belt or something. And it is an ID card,
Got a little
basically.
picture of him.
Equivalent. Yeah, it's got his little picture and it says his little name and his like student ID number and stuff.
Is his little picture look as bad as he looks right now?
No.
Oh. I'll hold it up. Oh no. Oh no. Figgery, what happened to you?
When did all this start then, Vickery?
I don't know
Amanda's
if I
been
want to.
playing-
I don't know if I want to tell you.
What do you got to tell me? I'm the doctor here.
You don't need to know what happened to me so you can fix me. Just fix me.
Trust me, it's better if you tell him what happened
Yes.
because otherwise,
Otherwise, we're just gonna have to assume the worst and otherwise contact your parents and let them know you're passing.
I'm not dead.
But how can we be sure you don't haven't done anything?
I'm talking to you right now, so I'm not dead. That's
Oh,
not the
Figgery.
word.
You could be undead though,
You could be
and-
undead.
which might be worse, depending on how you look at it.
We've been sent here because someone cares a lot about you, and they wanted you to talk to us, and you're not really talking to us.
Make an intimidation or a persuasion check. Something.
Figgery? What?
Vickery.
I'm not undead, and if you contact my parents, they will send better doctors than you.
Right. He's obstinate. It's fatal. And I'll just go. I'll walk away and go to the other side of the room. Let someone else take charge while I'm gonna look around.
Vickery, my lad. This has all been very confusing for you. I see. Tell me about when you started feeling poorly. I know, Bohuckle, he gets a little overzealous and he likes to start seeing
It's a lost
undead.
cause, Uncle. There's no saving him.
Don't listen to him. He just likes fixing things that are worse than they are. But you, I can see this is just a little, not but a wee cold. Now tell me when you came down with the sniffles.
I don't have the sniffles.
Well, what do you have then? And I want to be the kindest, most loving uncle in the whole wide world. I've made a tea.
Roll persuasion.
Like he looks away and I've pulled a tea out of my out of thin air. Here, have tea. Tell Uncle Mungo all about it. Don't mind them. They're just there for a good time. 20.
So yeah, you make him tea. He doesn't really want to talk. You make him tea and you hand it over, and he gets less angry. And
I
then
can see you're a gerbine of sense.
you sit on the bed next to him, and he scoots over and leans on you a little bit,
Says, I know it's been very stressful, hasn't it?
and then he asks for more tea. And this is a
Tough.
whole process. And then he's like, "Okay, I'll tell you the story.
Yeah, all right. Here, here's a fresh cup.
It's a scary story though. You have to not laugh at me because other kids they laugh at me."
I won't laugh at you. I would believe I'm a believer in stories, so you can tell me anything you'd like.
Okay, well, it's gonna start. I'm a radio host,
I did hear about that, Amanda.
and so I'm gonna start with it was a cold and rainy night.
Good start. Good. Always good to start with a dramatic entrance. Excellent. Now then what?
There was scratching outside, like there was something scraping outside my window.
Was
At
this the
the
radio place or was this here in your dorm?
Here,
Here. Oh. Did you see what it was?
and no, I looked out, and then yeah, I saw what it was. It was a huge monster, and it was climbing up the wall with its claws. And it saw me too. It had 4 big red eyes, and it opened its mouth, and I think I passed out. When I woke up, I was all sick like this, and it was just gone. I'm not crazy. This actually happened.
I believe you. I've seen a monster or two, and I know that they're nothing to be scoffed at. And how long ago was this then?
Why don't like a few days.
A few and none of your fellows believed you. Are they somewhere else?
Yeah, they moved my roommates out because they thought it was contagious. But it's not contagious. I just saw a scary monster and it made me sick.
And
There's
how?
monsters that can make you sick by looking at them, right?
Ugh, it certainly sounds like that's a possibility. What sort of sick have you been feeling since you saw the monster?
I haven't slept at all, and I haven't eaten at all.
Have you been hungry?
No,
Do you have a fever?
I don't know.
Gallus, feeling of feeling for fever.
I don't know. He doesn't have a fever.
I'm watching all this happen from the other side of the room.
Mhm.
I'm taking notes mentally, doing a pat down. When he's talking, I'll take a real good look at his mouth. Anything happened in his mouth? His mouth looked normal.
His mouth looks normal.
No fangs that are not normal for a Durbine.
No, non-normal things. I guess the inside of his mouth is like washed out pale, like the rest of his skin. So that's not good,
Is he
but it's
emitting
not.
a horrible ghoulish stench?
I know he does not smell bad.
Okay.
Maybe he's just a little bit anemic.
Gonna go
You know,
over
the
to him,
the
do
shock.
this, pick up his fingers, just take a nice little, and I'm gonna try and poke him and see if he bleeds.
You poke him. He goes, "Get!" And he like runs behind Mungojerry. He's like, "Your friend poked me," and he pulls up his little paw and it's got blood on it. And like, that's not very nice, and I don't like your friend.
Oh, you're really not gonna like this then. What is the only way? I'm gonna cast Turn Undead.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And see what happens.
No problem. Nothing happened.
Yeah, he's fine.
Oh, you're fine.
You're not undead, at least.
Yeah, you're not. You see. You knew it all along. You are doing just fine.
Good listener.
Is the blood on the needle still red? It hasn't like turned into smoking black.
It's turned into an actual bat and it's flown away.
Nope.
Well, I feel like this is the time for me to say, well, Amanda's really worried about you, and she just wanted to send her love, and so she gave me this letter to give to you, and I hope it cheers you up a little bit, because it seems like there's somebody on your side besides me. And he like hands the
Yeah,
letter.
you give him the letter. He holds it tight to him. Thank
And
you so much.
did you tell any of the teachers about this? I mean,
Yeah, and then
teachers.
that's why they moved my roommates out, because I told them that I was not feeling good and that this horrible thing was outside my window. And they said, "No, you're just sick."
And which teacher did you talk to that said you were sick?
A bunch of them.
A bunch of them. Oh, it sounds like they know what's happening then. Did
I mean,
they
I
give you
didn't
anything?
talk to a bunch of them, but I talked to my advisor, and then my advisor took me up to the dean, and I talked to the dean, and then the dean brought a couple more in, and they were like, whatever. And then they
And
put
did
me
they
in my
seem
room.
like you? They were like, "Are you gonna get better?" They're like, This will blow over in 2 weeks," kind of a thing. Usually they.
Yeah, they said, "You're sick. Stay here."
Great. Grand. Hey, did he say toodaloo when you left?
He always says that.
I
That's
know
his
what's
thing.
so it. Yeah, apparently it is.
I
He
like it.
Okay.
toodalooed us right out the window.
Ori's been ruminating, especially on this monster description, and he wants to sort of gently and slowly kneel down in front of Biggery and be like, "Now, lad, you said you saw this monster, multiple red eyes. Could you tell me again in detail anything you can remember about this monster? I'm a well-traveled bird of the forest. I may have met or seen one or heard of one before. Can I make a survival check to see
Yeah.
if I know anything about what he's talking?
Yeah. Roll survival.
Survival of the
Oof.
fittest.
You
Ah.
have not. He describes it in as much detail as he can, and you can't really tell if he's exaggerating or not. But he says, "Hold on, let me make sure he knows what he's talking about."
I can
Does
answer that one.
Figgery know?
Yeah, he says it was a very large thing that looked like a bird skeleton,
A bird
except
skeleton.
looked like a giant bird skeleton, except that like the top and the bottom of the jaw were both like the tops, right? So it had two tops, which is where the four eyes are.
I'm glad we cleared that up. Good.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
a little unsure. Now I
This is
understand
much more
exactly.
descriptive.
If
Yeah.
Well, that's not a
Mungo-
regular creature of the forest. That's an abomination.
Mungo in another going to bustle around and like make tea. I feel like Mungo is like cleaning up his room a little bit. Like he's like, oh, and we'll just put this over here. Like, just kind of feeling like the nice uncle who's just kind of like gently tidying things up for a poor little sick child. When we get to the window, can we stick our heads out and see if there are like any marks in the side of the trunk or anything like that?
You can roll investigation.
I certainly can. 8.
It's such a large creature. I mean,
8.
how hard
You
could it be
don't
to
see
find?
any marks.
Okay. Interesting.
But he's like, it was right there at the window, and it even scratched the window. You can see, and then he like points at where, and there's nothing.
Is the window openable?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna like stick my head out and I'm gonna agree with him, even though I don't see what he's talking about. Is there anything else like significant outside his window? Like, oh, the floating research department island is like right outside.
Um,
The necromancy
make
department hovers
a
straight next.
perception check.
Sure. Just say, oh, what a lovely view you've got here. All things considered. 17.
17. You see some. He's like near the bottom of the tree, so maybe you're a couple stories up. And if you look down at the very bottom, there's nothing like, I don't know, of note. Like there's buildings passing by, but they're always circulating. But down underneath where he says that the monster was climbing up, you see like fragments of something, like broken off pieces of something.
So yeah, something fell or, was broken. Right, so like straight shot down from his window. Cool. Well, let's go there. Eventually. Great. I'll say, oh, well, and maybe we should go take a look at what's on the ground a little bit later. Well, we'll just do a little sweep and make sure no other monsters are roaming around. Keep this window locked though, just to be safe.
Yeah, I always keep it locked. Are you
Good.
guys so sure you're supposed to be here? Because what if you can get my sickness?
Old Mungo's lived this long, nothing is gonna keep him down.
I'm ritually casting in the corner. I've like taken over one of the other people's beds. I'm just setting up shop over there.
Yeah.
So stall for 10 minutes.
Great. Well, do you want to hear all about how long it took us to get here from Alderheart?
You want to hear
Like-
the last 10 minutes in real time?
Yeah, Mungo will just be like, I bet I need to fill you up on all the goss, and then he'll just like start telling him about how
Yeah. He's like,
have-
wait, before you tell me, can I record this conversation and then can I have the rights to it?
Absolutely you can.
Like, great. And he pulls out like a little box and presses a button on top of it. And you're like, okay, now you can go.
Ah, well, that's a clever thing there. Okay, great. Well, which of one of Old Mungo's stories do you want to hear? Do you want to hear the scariest? Do you want to hear the most valiant? And he'll just kind of like ask, do you want to hear about the slime caves and the famous slime hats of Minnowing Reach?
Like, yes, the slime caves.
Great, and he'll tell about our whole slime
Fantastic.
expedition.
Make
and
a
explain.
performance check.
Okay. 10.
Okay,
They've
10.
argued
That's
for royalties.
great. What 10 minutes goes by?
I finished casting.
Mm-hmm.
Detect poison and disease.
Oh,
Man, clerics have the weirdest spells.
they do.
Yeah. What is this one? I can
Very
sense
specific.
the presence and location of poisons, poisonous creatures, and diseases. I assume that also means diseased creatures.
Diseasiest creatures?
Not creatures that spread disease, just creatures that are
Creatures-
diseased.
With disease, yeah.
No disease.
No poison?
Ooh. So it's a
Well, figure
curse.
you're really fine. If you're cursed, woo, that's way above our pay grade at the moment.
Oh, we don't have that spell yet.
This whole time we've been hanging out with Vickery, other than his. So he said he hasn't been sleeping, he hasn't been eating.
Mm-hmm.
Has he shown any other physical symptoms other than being pale? Like, is he in pain? Is he distressed? Like, what is the sick? Why does he think he's sick? He's not weak, because I tried to bump open that door and
No, he's not weak.
that did not work.
He just looks sick and then doesn't want to eat. I mean, he feels tired but can't sleep.
Yeah, but he doesn't have like a little cough or, like there's no physical ailment, right? Okay.
Does he feel hungry?
No.
No. But he
Cast
did drink
sleep
the
on him
tea.
real quick.
Cast sleep? Who can do that?
I can.
You can't ritual cast sleep?
Nope.
He did drink the tea.
Yeah. I'll make another I'll be like, all right, Figgery. Well, you just try and get some rest. And this is my special sleepy time blend, and we'll see if that helps. You get some sleep, while we look into it. You just cozy on up in your bed, have this cup of sleepy time tea, and read Amanda's letter, and we'll take care of it. And I will cast sleep.
Okay, great. He
Sorry, go ahead.
he goes to sleep.
We fixed him. They just needed some good rest.
Alright, is there anything we can find in the room real quick?
No.
Wait
Okay.
a minute.
Rutherford tells everybody to leave, and I
Okay.
cast
Cool.
ambush prey on myself.
What does that
What
mean?
is that?
Wow. Big moves.
Okay. You channel primal predatory energies to perfectly conceal your presence in order to surprise your target. You become invisible for the spell's duration. The invisibility will last for the duration of the spell, however, moving 5 feet or more from your position when you cast a spell will end the effect.
Oh, what a perfect spell in this situation.
Yes, so everybody leaves the room, and I stay still invisible in the room.
Okay.
For how
Great.
long?
Up to
He's
an hour.
only asleep for a minute, so
Perfect.
Ah,
He's
let's
probably
quickly-
not
let's
going to
take
do
the letter.
anything.
Let's take the letter and let's make it look like we were never here, and maybe he'll think it was a fever dream.
no, leave the letter. We have to young love.
What,
He
what
needs
if we
something
come?
good to hold on to.
Let's knock on the door and come back and pretend like it's the first time we've been here and see if he does everything
let's go look
exactly
at the bottom.
same.
There's stuff broken down under his window, even though he said the thing was broken and we can't see anything's broken.
Okay. Well, we leave. If you need us, just chirp 3 times at midnight. and
Out the
we'll come right
window.
back.
We'll just be right below you.
But don't move more than
Bohuckle
5
the
feet.
gaslighter over here.
All right, we
You've
leave.
heard about Groundhog's Day. Are you ready for Derbean Day?
Mungojerry would like to go to the bottom of the tree
'Kay.
trunk.
You all go to the bottom of the tree trunk. Rutherford,
Do we pass
After-
any diseased people on the way down?
no.
Okay, we're good. I'll let that spell drop.
Do we feel diseased?
Is there any
After a
disease?
minute, he wakes up. Figure he wakes up. And then he, like, looks disappointedly at his tea, sets it aside, opens Amanda's letter, is sitting on his bed, like, reading it, and then starts crying.
A little creepy now.
Well, these are the risks you take when you go.
That's
to
how a stakeout
spy
works.
On, yeah.
Sometimes it's exciting. Most of the time, it's depressing.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I got an hour with the kid, so let's just let the cameras roll. See what we get.
I was like babysitting with Rutherford. Great.
He like finishes reading the letter, and then he like holds it up to his face and inhales really deep, and then he reads it again,
Mhm.
and then he goes to the bathroom and closes the door.
Mhm.
You can hear the shower like turn on.
Okay. Well, I don't leave my 5-foot bubble, but I do search that 5-foot bubble.
Okay, there's nothing in the 5-foot bubble.
Okay. Great.
He just does
TikTok.
normal Derbean things. At the bottom of the trunk, you see the like bits of stuff that you saw, Mungojerry.
Yep. It's just stuff.
And
This is
they're
it.
like vaguely white colored, like fragments of something.
They're vaguely white. Can't you see? This is an essential clue. They're vaguely white. Is it like a lot of debris? Is it?
Not a ton, but it's like very small chipped pieces of something.
Mm.
Like, I don't know, maybe a palmful
Mm-hmm.
if you
Wow.
pick them all up. But you would need to make some kind of check to know what they actually are.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody picked up mend.
Is it?
Nope.
Depending on what it is, would medicine be a good check? Like I'm
Yeah.
imagining it's bone.
Medicine, it would be fine.
Can I see if this is bone?
Yeah.
Like
Cast
Funny.
turn undead again.
the bones scramble away.
Scurry
We
away.
have encountered bone bird skeletons before, so you know.
It is
Valid.
bone.
It is bone.
It is bone. And as Mungojerry hands them to you, they make you feel weird. Like uneasy. These the small bone fragments.
Are they rattling?
No.
Okay, well they're already a step up from the last bone.
Do you
Remember
feel
when we
cursed
had
to
a
not
bag
be
of
able to
bones?
sleep or eat? The good old days.
What? These aren't great bones.
We don't want a bag of these bones now. Yeah, I
No,
can
What
Yeah.
bones are great?
You
some
know.
good bones and some bad bones.
Yeah, you can have the good bones. There's good bones. There's bad bones. These are bad bones. Oh, what's put them here? Are they like shards? Like they're not a full bone.
Do they look like they've fallen? Or
Hard to tell.
disintegrated? Or I don't like this, Bohuckle. I don't like this
Hold
at
on.
all.
Hold on. I'm meeting with somebody who's good at identifying things here in a couple hours, and I'll just
Oh, here! Oh, you are!
tell them to
oh,
identify Liz.
oh, fancy that!
So they can't
Yes,
possibly
yeah,
affect
I
me in
mean,
the next couple
you
hours.
could bring it to the headmaster.
That's who he's meeting in a couple of hours.
Well, we don't know that.
They didn't seem to care if it affected Figure, which is par for the course for this place.
There's just, you know.
Yeah, they might not think there's anything actually
They might be
affecting
trying to
Figure Eight.
study him after all. You know, they've got.
What if we planted these on all the professors?
Oh, I was like, they're not seeds, Ori. They're not going to grow.
Is there anything
Bone
else that's
trees.
suspicious down here? Like, I feel like we're on the ground. We're looking up at the avium. Is there anything?
Yeah, like is there
In the
anything leading
night?
into the forest?
Anything leading
Or
into
like
the
leading
forest?
deeper into the
into a tunnel, into a necromancy cave that, somehow we missed.
What was necromancy? Hazelnuts?
Hazelnuts.
Is there an inordinate amount of hazelnuts?
A little trail of hazelnuts. The scent of
There's not a
hazelnuts on the
trail.
wind.
There is the scent of hazelnuts on the wind, but that's just the bone.
Oh.
Okay. Darn.
Did we learn where necromancy was taught in this school?
No.
It's theoretical only.
Theoretical. Yeah, where's theoretical necromancy?
Isn't all spellcasting theoretical until you cast the spell?
Yeah, they have animated bones downstairs, so theoretically only.
Yeah, servitor. Animated servitors. Bone servitors.
But we learned where that was, right? Like, we learned...
Yeah, that's
Isn't
just in the lower library. I
Oh.
mean, they're just like down there chilling. You probably saw one. Here
No, not the skeleton. Like, where they teach
The
theoretical
necromancy
only
department.
necromancy.
I don't think you learned that.
We don't. Yeah, I don't think we learned that.
Well, that's probably a good place to start. If bones are turning up, also figures. Definitely cursed. That boy does not have long in this world.
Well, don't tell him that. I mean, maybe this is just the beginning of his.
End? I agree.
It's just his second puberty. He'll be fine.
With curse breaking. I mean, they should be able to do that here.
You would think, but they can't really do anything.
I mean, who knows?
It's all-
Not
they
everyone
have-
practices
They have
spellcasting.
theoretical curse breaking,
Here.
but it's a high level class and there's no practical curse breaking. Applied and practical curse breaking.
Whichever of you has the highest arcana that's actually down there, make a check.
0.
Oh, Lord.
I think
have-
mine's negative.
I have 1 arcana.
Oh,
It's you.
it's you.
It's me! Oh my god! I'm
The
like,
one with actual arcana is currently stalking
I'm
a Jerbean.
like,
Yep.
Magic. What do I know about magic? I mean, there was that story about bones that one time, and we did encounter bones in the swamp, and we thought that was Susan, but it wasn't her. That was just swamp spawning bones.
Oh, Sarah. A 19 and a 1.
Oh, perfect.
My rolls.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much your train of thought. You never really resolved where those bones came from.
No.
If they had just
Nope.
swamp spawned or not. Maybe
I
that
think-
can happen.
Maybe that can happen. I feel it's like 50. Mongo's gonna choose both are equally possible for theatrical effects. So like, anything can happen. Great. I feel like I don't have anything else I want to do down here.
Okay, well, Abby, as my time ends on my spell, I want to come out of the spell and exit through the window and fashion a rope and belay system to thoroughly investigate the window and the area around it.
'Kay. Make an investigation check. Figgery, near the end of your time, he's got like a little desk in the main room that faces away from you, luckily, and he's got like a little like headset on, and he's running Mungojerry's story on his radio station.
Oh, he gets to work quick.
Thought you were gonna say he's listening to like lo-fi. Beats to study to.
20.
20. Yeah, so you make this belay system, and as you're going down to where your friends are investigating, you can feel in the wall like these gashes that have been made into it. But you don't see them until you feel them, and then
Mhm.
once you feel them, you can see them.
Are they obscured by an illusion, or are they just
No, it's more-
particularly discreet?
Discreet.
Interesting. Is it because
This
of
is getting
like, the
more
texture
intentional
of the
by the
bark,
minute.
or is it because the claws are like razor thin, scratching into the wood gives you lots of traction?
Make just an intelligence check.
5.
5. Yeah.
God.
I mean, it's a tree trunk, so there's like bits that are not going in the way that the bark is like. I don't know. There's bits cutting across the bark. But it's almost like you put a gash in something and then you put like wood filler. And like that's been done imperfectly. So you can feel where there's a small gash, but then it's also like the wrong texture around it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like
So
a
just
cover up?
Yeah.
Wow,
it's
like
an
a
imperfect
tree
cover-up.
conspiracy.
Damn.
To the top.
Okay, well, speaking of to the top, let's follow the gashes upwards. Can I climb this tree in any reasonable way?
Should you be climbing a tree?
You know what? I've got a token of a ram that tells me I can look into the future and do real good things real well.
Real good things. Well, also, point of clarification: is the whole tree petrified or is it still alive?
It's a petrified tree.
Okay, so it's
Can I talk to things that were formerly planned?
that's
No.
where I was going.
Speak with dead?
Can you talk to stone?
They once identified as plant, but now don't.
The pathway, I think, stops. Like the what you can feel stops around Figure's window, and you don't know what happens from there. Like maybe it went back down.
Mhm.
Maybe I don't know.
Well, this was a targeted attack then. This was not somebody peeked out the window as a thing was climbing by. The destination was Figure's window.
Or it got thrown off when it saw somebody see it.
Curiouser and curiouser. Okay. Well, short of investigation, there is no creature that I identify with nature or arcana that fits that description, is there?
No.
Perhaps with religion?
Mm-mm. You cannot. This does not sound like anything
That we've
that you've
ever seen.
ever heard of.
Interesting,
Yep.
interesting. Okay. Well, I would like to use my mage hand to carry a rope around and help me swing off of points and just kind of explore the outside of the tree a little bit, see if there's anything in particular suspicious, and then when I've felt that I've done that thoroughly, I'll go to one of the perches where the birds can take off from. And I'll climb over to that and then get back inside the tree from there.
Yeah. Perfect. You don't find anything suspicious.
Okay.
Somebody had
Presently.
a real creative vision when it came to this creature.
They really did.
It was only a matter of time before we encountered a necromancer at this school that produced every necromancer we've ever found.
Truly.
Yeah.
Do all the teachers sleep in the same wing?
You don't know.
Okay, that's fine.
Time to take out the teachers. I see how it's going.
Take them out. All right. Well, I think Mungo will go to sleep since it seems like not much is happening.
Is
We
there
wanna
anywhere?
investigate-
Sorry, is there anywhere to listen to a broadcast of what Figure is sending out? Is there like a public PA system that is?
No, the public PA system does exist.
Mhm. But it's not just broadcasting.
It's not
student radio.
broadcasting Figure's radio
Okay.
station.
Okay.
What's the pirate radio station we
Yeah.
tune into?
Can I go to the library and get like a cassette player to rent or something?
No. Students probably just have ways to tap into it. Like their own. It's not really radio. It's like some kind of like magic transmission situation.
Sure. And I know
If
magic.
you get a magic box of radio,
Mhm.
then you can listen to the radio station.
I pull out the token that's shaped like a feather and I look at it very closely and think, is this a radio?
Radio is not one of the options.
I put it away. Well, all right. Yeah, I'll regroup with the gang. Spend some time hunting them down.
I feel like Mungo has gone back to our dorm and is just having a tea and thinking deep
Yeah, I imagine
rooster
you're just
thoughts.
sitting there quietly sitting, and I'm pacing back and forth, thinking out loud conspiracy theories. What if
And
this
I'm
goes
just
all the way to the top? It must
and-
be that Dean. I never got
and
a
I
good
just
sight
go
of him.
like I'm like everything you say while I like stare into the middle distance.
This just doesn't make sense. He's so unskilled. Why would they target him? Unless it's the radio. What do you think, Uncle? Is it the radio?
Mhm. Ori, did you come back with us, or are you doing something else?
I think Ori's gonna like wander the halls for a while or something. Um, keeping an eye out on the outside, like trying to get a sense for the tree and like I don't know, like if there's any defenses on the tree. Uh, like are there? Because isn't there the guards at the very top in the one of the floating?
There's a security dome thing, right?
It's a security dome, but like, am I seeing security people? Um, he's a little restless, I think, and so he's gonna maybe like make his way up the tree to a pretty high point, and then try to like look around the sides. He's pretty used to working at night. I mean, he has dark vision and um, stuff like that. So
Yeah, you do see, like, you see the guard dome that's rotating around. And as you're watching, you can see each of the, like, floating sections every, like, hour-ish joins up, like, desynced with all the others, joins up with different walkways for, like, 5 to 10 minutes, and then takes off again. So there are ways, like, you just have to know when to be there for each of the different ones, but there are ways to get to each of the different sections. Don't. The guard dome is actively like manned by perch guard. Um but they're not like roaming the base of the tree. They're all near the tower or like wandering around the top of the tree situation.
okay, yeah. So they're not really doing like patrols of the whole building necessarily. I guess it would be valuable to study when things seem to sync up, sort of. So I think Ori's gonna try and memorize that,
Yeah.
possible.
Doable.
And then he's probably not gonna stay up all night. But
Okay.
Yeah, so
Anything
Rutherford
else?
will talk to the group in the room, debrief about the exterior findings, and that Figuree seems pretty much like a normal cursed Gerbine. And then is also going to go and wander the school and look
Okay.
for mostly internal layout, trying to figure out where all of the departments are, where, is there an office that would be easy to break into for the necromancy department and that kind of thing. Kind of like snoop around, see if there's anything suspicious in any of the faculty areas, or if there's anything that resembles the claw marks from the outside on the interior of the building.
Okay. Roll investigation.
22.
22. Perfect. A lot of the areas are off limits presently. Like you can't get into them because the badge they lock access at night.
Mm-hmm.
But what you can search, you find it's not as helpful as you would like, but you find what like a sign on the wall that basically says where a bunch of the departments are, and they're all given like semi helpful numbers. So you have an idea of where things are in the avium,
Mhm.
and it has a list of faculty and they're like what department they're in, so you could like cross reference that and find who you want to find. And if you're interested in necromancy, there's one professor of theoretical necromancy, and her office is in the main building, and her classroom is on one of the outer islands.
Mhm.
And her name is Glinda Nightseed.
Glinda Nightseed.
Ominous last name.
Mm-hmm.
What a name for a theoretical necromancer.
I mean, she was born to be a theoretical necromancer with that name.
As far as the locked doors with the badge, what
Yeah.
does that look like? I mean, is it high security, everything's an iron barred, solid shut door? Or is it a gate that unlocks with the badge that could be slipped through or picked or bent out of position or something? Scale
It's
of 1
like
to 10.
it depends on the area. Like the lower library is quite secure. And you see these like badge for the lower library, and there's these two giant like bird statues, and the bird statues move and like cross their talons when you try to swipe
Ooh,
red.
that's fun.
But then other areas are just like regular wooden doors, you think, but they could have magic.
Mhm. Oh, okay. Anything that doesn't seem um
Yeah, are there any lights on? Like, is there anybody else who's like late night? I don't know. Researching? I feel like that would be
Mm,
neat to see.
I don't not notable.
Man, everybody's just so obedient at the avium. They just
mhm.
are very highly scheduled and regimented.
Or they're all in on
They're all in the secret necromancy dungeon that we
it.
don't know about.
Except for Figure 8.
Yeah, that's a good question actually. Do I see anybody while I'm skulking about?
I think it's getting pretty late-ish. Like the equivalent of, I don't know, 11 p.m.
I mean, I would
And
say Rutherford is like up until 2 or
yeah,
3
yeah,
doing this.
yeah. There are like a couple janitors kind of situation that you
Mhm.
pass by. And you can see people in the cafeteria when you pass by. They're like getting ready for breakfast.
Mhm.
And starting to cook things in the wee hours. But no researchers or students or anything are wandering the halls.
Okay. Janitors specifically, I want to follow. See if I can nick a badge off of one of them.
Okay. Roll stealth and then sleight of hand, I guess.
26,
Mhm.
20.
Nice. Yeah, you get a janitor badge.
Does it do anything different for me?
No.
Of course not. Well, I drop it on the floor on a path that the
Rude.
guy walked by as though it just fell out of his pocket.
Before he got there.
Oh, I guess no, it does do something different. It opens the janitor closet.
I investigate, specifically look for lost and found.
Yep. There's lost and found. There's
Do they
like
have a radio in there for when they're on their break?
Yes! Ooh,
Oh.
great call. A radio.
roll a d6.
Confiscated
D6.
radio. Evens, yes.
Evens yes, odds no.
It's
They
even!
do have a radio.
Alright. I'm gonna grab that.
There's a radio. There's lost and found, but the lost and found is like normal. There's quills, writing and notebooks and
No bones.
no bones.
Are there any like maintenance layouts or maps of ducts or piping or access tunnels?
No,
Anything blueprinty?
not in the janitor closet.
You have to go to the
Rude.
architect closet.
Yeah, well. um. Okay, well. I'm gonna take it on faith that there is nothing particularly interesting, and head back to the gang.
Anything else?
Back at the room, I finish my rant and say, and that's how it gets all the way back up to Bitter Uncle. It goes all the way to the top.
Mm, certainly does.
So we'll just have to solve that problem tomorrow, and then I'll go to bed.
Oh, we'll take care. I mean, it's just not the Gallus way they're running things here. It's just there's no real community, but it's all right. We'll figure it out. And I feel like Mungojerry's gonna go to sleep. I mean, he is concerned for the well-being of all the students involved. But he's like, we can't do anything now. We got to sleep on it. I think he'll go to bed.
You all sleep. You wake up in the morning. People are bustling early. Classes are happening. Students are going places. You see professors. There's a PA announcement early in the morning at 6:50, and it's like classes are starting in 10 minutes. And then everybody bustles to where they need to be. What are you all doing for the day?
I'm meeting Gabe in the morning at the security dome.
Perfect.
I think I told the our owly friend, that I was gonna do some research in the lower library. I did also say that I was gonna convince a whole department to help me, but I I didn't do that. So I would like to go back down there and just suss things out in that suspicious library.
Perfect.
Might ask questions about creatures with 2 heads and claws.
Yeah. Very good.
Just to see if I can ruffle some feathers. Yeah, so that's what but first, his most important order of business is to go to breakfast, find Amanda, and reassure her that Figgery is fine. The letter has been delivered. We are working on it.
The Figgery problem.
The Figgery conundrum.
He's not diseased. He's
The
not
Figgery
undead.
solution.
And then yeah. So I will want to reassure Amanda so she doesn't have to worry. And I said, did you catch? I think he broadcasted something the other night. He's got a great new story to tell, so you can listen into that to see how things went.
Yeah. So I did hear it yesterday about the slime wranglers and the slime hats. And
yes,
it's all true. Wow.
It's all
Thank
true.
you so
really
much
happened.
for taking my letter to Figgery. I know he appreciates it.
I certainly think he did. He was feeling a little lonely, but I gave him a few cups of tea, and I think your letter did the rest of the work. So yes, and then I want to find out. I'll ask Amanda casually, this lovely PA system. It's just so great. Where would that be? Who does those announcements, and where do they do them from?
It's like, oh, that's up in the dean's office.
Oh, of course, yes. He would need to make but it wasn't him making the announcement for classes, or was it?
People would just go up there and they do the announcement from there if they need
Anybody
to do an
can make an announcement.
No, it's not like that. But
so egalitarian.
All right. So it's what? Right at the dean's office, left at the dean's office, where?
In the dean's office.
In the dean's office. Oh, grand. Perfect. Thank you, dear. And I hope you have a great day with your classes.
Thank you.
Yes.
You
well,
too?
I'm going to be going down to the library just to, ask some questions, do a little research. I might visit Miss Nightseed also when I have the chance. Um,
Miss Nightseed? Oh, she's so nice.
ah, great. I do want to meet a lot of nice people while I'm here.
Yeah, I mean, I can't do magic, but learning theoretical necromancy is really fascinating. And it doesn't
Yeah.
matter that I can't do magic because it's all just
Because it's all
theoretical.
theory.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, great. Well, she'll be really great at explaining stuff to me then. Uh, I'm really glad to hear she's approachable.
Hmm.
And
You'll
with
like her.
that,
You'll get along great. She's a Gallus.
oh, we will get along great. Or we won't. But we will. Great. And then I will toddle off down to the library, I think.
Okay. Perfect. Ori?
Ori will follow Mungojerry faithfully. And also
Rutherford?
research in the library.
Yeah, I was gonna say that actually he was going to try and dig up some information on one Miss Nightseed, and
Okay.
see, are there one, who is this person? What are they like? Do they have a favorite treat? What are their normal office hours? Like, is there like something that is, oh, she
Responds well to
loves
compliments.
frogs. Everybody gives her frog cups for her birthday or whatever.
Fond of hazelnuts, unsurprisingly.
I don't have that much information about her.
That's fine.
But you get
'cause
to make it up.
We're gonna be on this train for a bit, Abby, so start thinking.
She's frog obsessed. She drinks
How-
out of mugs. The things
so
we
you're
know
learning.
about her already.
Who are you? Are you just talking to the guy? What's his name? Mordain, right?
No, I mean, I'm
library?
like asking around the school.
Okay, asking around. Okay. Sure.
I'll be like, oh, Rutherford's had a crush on her for years.
Make some kind of check. Investigation check. A persuasion
I'm
check.
always happy to roll investigation, Abby. 25.
Okay, 25. People like her. She does have a favorite treat. It's chocolate chip cookies with hazelnuts.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Not very
She
theoretical.
she's very kind. Like she doesn't practice necromancy according to everybody at the school. She just learns it. And she has a very pragmatic view of necromancy. She sees it as like manipulating life force, which it is. But similar to what druids do, like very like natural. If they make plants grow, that's the same as manipulating life force in a necromantic way too.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I'm gonna go to the cafeteria or the coffee shop or somewhere and see if I can rustle up some kind of a hazelnut cookie situation.
Hmm.
And then I will be conspicuously around the necromancy department and see if I can identify this Miss Nightseed.
Yes. She's the only professor in the necromancy department,
Mm-hmm.
so she's easy to find.
Oh, well, that's great. I mean, she could have just been holed up in her office, or
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, you go to the necromancy department and it has one office, and it's hers. There's no. That's it.
This is going exactly how I thought it was
It's
going
got
to
a little
go.
crooked sign that's barely stuck on that says Necromancy Department Office
Right.
of.
And it doesn't really look like the necromancy department was ever bigger. It's like
Mhm.
there's a little area set aside for it, and it's got one office, and they just always have one professor that is theoretical necromancy, and they never have more.
Okay, well, I will knock
Got a
on
very
her office
ironic
door.
skull and crossbones on the.
Okay, you talk to her, and I need to skip forward, so we're gonna skip over to Bohuckle.
That's great. Not conspicuous at all.
Bohuckle,
Rutherford was never seen again.
He comes back, he has a
Yikes.
second head upside down on his head.
you're meeting with Gabe, yeah?
Gabe Winsworth, Dean of the Magic School.
Yep.
At the security dome.
Identifier extraordinaire.
At the si-
Identifier extraordinaire.
While you're up there, don't forget to look for that PA system. You know, it just might
No,
come in handy.
Uncle, I'm not meeting him in his office. I'm going to have him occupied elsewhere.
Oh, damn it. All right. Well, maybe I'll I'll look for it later. Don't worry about it then.
Okay. You meet him at the security dome. He's brought another person with him. I think they are another Luma. And they're like, and he's like, "Oh, Bohuckle, I'm so glad you remembered to meet me here."
I wouldn't forget it for the world. This is a very
Mhm.
important meeting to me, Dean Winsworth.
Hmm?
That's your name, is it not?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. But I have this. You're a fine magician, are you not?
I am. Yeah. Yeah.
Exemplary magician, are you not?
Mhm.
So, are you good at identifying things?
No, but Fred is.
Ah,
I
Fred.
brought Fred for that.
But Fred be trusted.
Yes, Fred.
Oh.
You know how I told you that there was a guy that worked in an office and all he does is identify things all day? That's Fred.
Oh, you're the chair of the entire identifying department. Oh, but can you do this more than one time a day, Fred?
Fred nods and he's like, "Yeah, it's a ritual spell. I can do it. I guess whatever 24 times 60 divided by 10 is. That's the number of times."
I'm also a ritual caster myself. I understand. That's a very familiar number to me. But okay. Well, I have two things tied in.
Uh huh.
One of them, well, it's probably less dangerous, so we'll do that first. I'll bring out the pile of bones.
Uh huh.
What do you think of these, Fred?
Marla,
Yeah,
madam.
the dean's like, What are those now? Bones?
They
Where did you
are.
get those?
They are not bones, as you can see. This doesn't look like any bone, but they might be pieces of a bone.
Pieces of a bone. Okay. Well, Fred, I got do what the Gallus tells you to, and Fred starts ritual casting.
Can
Identify.
I? Can I also? I don't. This spell's ritual. No, this is just a normal thing. So when he's almost done. Oh, I have to time this really well. Shit, it's only 10 minutes. It won't work. Okay, that's fine. I'll do it twice. I'm gonna cast Zone of Truth to make sure it doesn't lie to me about what
Oh,
he sees.
okay. Yeah. Are you gonna tell them that you're doing that?
I just have trust issues.
Well,
It's
Fred's
not
like,
because I don't trust you. It's because I want to
Mhm.
feel confident in your answer.
Yeah, I understand.
And
That's
I have trust. Yeah. Okay.
Fred and Gabe both fail purposefully,
Perfect.
and you can tell that when you cast it.
Well, then while Fred is, I have 10 minutes of truthful Dean at my disposal. Now that I've gone him into failing. Oh, Dean, what do you know about that figurey fellow?
Figurey.
That's figurey fellow.
Well, he went to his advisor, and his advisor came to me, and he brought him up, and Figurey just looked awful, and I
I
said
just
that
took a good look at him. He's not sick at all.
I
It's
said
not a
that boy
disease.
is sick.
But yes, but
That's
he's.
what I said,
I
and
know
then
that's what
we
he's. But
sent
did
him
you
to
mean
his
it?
room,
But did
and
you
we
mean that he was sick?
What do you mean?
When you said the words, I said he was sick. Did you mean the words that you had thought that you meant?
I don't understand your question.
That's probably truthful. Actually, I know that's wrong. Okay, well, what sickness does he have?
I don't know.
Do you know that it's not a sickness?
No. I said that boy is sick, and then we evacuated his roommates and put them in new rooms. And then we just said, we're going to put you in here. You stay in here. You don't talk to anybody. I guess you can still run your radio, but you can't have your radio club.
You think he's gonna make a recovery? They'd be so sad if he were to pass.
I don't know.
Have you thought about it?
I hope so. That he will make a recovery. But he told us all sorts of crazy things about this monster. But there's no monster. This is a safe place.
There's no monster. Can I get that in writing? Actually, just say it again for my well-being.
There's no monster.
What is there? How can you be so sure that it's not a monster? He described something very scary.
Yeah, but when people are sick, they see things and imagine things and dream things.
It's suspicious. Would you not say that?
What's suspicious?
This whole situation, you know?
No,
It's not suspicious? Well,
no, I don't know.
you don't know a lot. And that's truthful. Okay, I'll just pester him until Fred finishes.
Yeah, Fred finishes. Fred says, "Hold on."
Nope, we're running out of time, Fred. You gotta keep talking.
Fred says, "Hold on. Identify didn't work. This is not.
It didn't work.
It's not it's not a magic. It's there's some kind of essence of hazelnut surrounding this object, but
Okay, but I'll just take it
Sins
back.
of
Anyway,
hazelnut.
I'll just do a quick switcheroo. Well, anyway, there's no wood around here, is there?
there's wood.
Okay, well here, let's look at this one. Just take a quick look. For 10 minutes, and we'll hope that everything's fine. I will produce the stone.
Uh-huh.
I won't give it to him. I'll
Okay.
keep holding it.
Yeah.
But and I'll like expose a little tiny bit of it. Be like, what do you think of that, Fred?
Okay, he'll look at it for 10 minutes. Roll a d6.
Ooh.
Give us the truth, Fred. Out with it, man.
5.
Okay, he can't look at it for 10 minutes. Like, as you have it exposed to him, you can see his feathers start, like, charring. And then, like, 5 minutes in, you can see, like, his skin starts, like, prickling hot.
Be strong, Fred. Be strong.
And Fred's like, keeps ritual casting, and he really tries to make it, but he can't make it. And then eventually he breaks, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I just can't. What is that thing?"
That's what you were supposed to answer for me,
I
Fred.
you ritual cast into it. It's very difficult.
Just
I'm
cast
holding it
resist
right now,
element
Fred.
on him.
And how are you doing that exactly?
This is not an interrogation. Fred,
It's a zone of truth, so it is.
I didn't fail my own. I don't even know if I have to make my own check. Okay, well this was very useful, Fred. I needed you. Where could I find you?
Down in my okay, well, but maybe I don't have to ritual cast. I can just regular cast it. Hold
I
it back
didn't know
now.
that was an option.
1 minute. 1 minute only. Fred's like, I can do this. And you can see his feathers start charring again, but he pushes through the 1 minute
Okay.
and casts identify. And he
What a champ,
Finish.
Fred.
finishes casting it and then gasps. And then, like, Dean Winsworth, I need to talk to you. And then they, like, huddle.
No.
Excuse me.
We
Please
should
hold.
not have let you do this alone.
I That's fine. I'm gonna, as they walk away, I'm gonna cast and. No, I don't. Have the. Never mind. I'm just gonna try and listen to it. I'm very perceptive.
Okay, roll perception.
11.
You hear bits and pieces of their conversation. Like Fred whispers something to Gabe, and Gabe looks at him and he's like, "Are you sure?" And then Fred like nods vigorously, and then Fred's like, "We want that." And Gabe's like, "Are you sure?" Like this, whatever, what like. And then he's like, "I don't want to get security involved," and Fred's like, "No, for sure, we want that." And then they discuss a little bit more.
Are they? They're like in the corner talking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna slip away.
Roll stealth with advantage.
Toodaloo.
Bye.
Bye bye.
15 is good. Okay, you slip away.
Oh Lord, I am nothing if not disquieted.
I'll just casually show up to the library.
Yeah.
Uncle Noah.
All right, excuse me, I need to go use the facilities. And maybe I'll go see Amanda too. And I like go up, and I'm like, I'm like outside the library, and we're whisper talking in the shadow of the tree.
Oh, please, I got to ask you a big favor.
All right,
You know
what?
that spooky rock I have that just sort of catches fire?
Yeah, the spooky rock that almost broke up our family when
Yeah, that spooky
it got
rock.
stolen.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
okay,
killed
yeah.
the rest of your family?
And you know how we've got nothing but bad vibes from this whole school.
Truly.
I think those two problems might come to a head in the near future.
Oh, really? What makes you think that then?
It's just a hunch.
Okay, all right.
But
Well,
I would like. Do you think that if I gave it to you, you could hold on to it
the
just
rock?
for the day or so?
Sure, I'll try it. I'll put it in my tea kettle.
That's a great idea.
Okay.
You could use it to make tea, Uncle. Oh my God! Instant boiled water. Why have we not thought of this before?
You only had to ask. I could have given you the answer a long time ago.
Tea shop, Uncle. This is the solution to our problem. Anyway, we wanted it back, but I think I might be searched here today, and I just want to make sure it's not on my
all right.
person when that
Yeah,
happens.
this never happened.
Okay.
But just plop it in then.
Well, plop it in, and make sure you don't give it to Rutherford.
I'd never give it to anybody.
Perfect.
Great. Are you gonna come with me into the library?
No, I'll come back.
I feel like I almost want to be Gabe. I want to cast disguise and be Gabe and go into the library
Okay.
Ooh.
and ruffle some feathers that way.
Okay.
Yes. That is
Oh.
what I want to do.
Okay. Mordain is working, and he like when you went to the library originally, he gave you the list of books that he found overnight that he thought you would be interested in. So you all have that for whatever topics you told him you wanted to research. You walk in as Gabe, and Mordain like looks up, and then he stands up, and he's like, "Oh, Dean Winsworth, how can I help you? It's not very often you visit the library."
I know, but we have prestigious guests here, and I felt like I wanted to help them on their research.
That is so generous.
Truly it is.
More generous than normal, but you know.
You gotta keep up appearances, if you know what I mean.
Mordain's like, all right. Which of these topics would you like to research?
Great. Are you asking Gabe?
Mm-hmm.
And Gabe is going to say, I've heard a bit about some new creatures. They were telling me, so I'd like to hear about creatures with 4 eyes and 2 skulls.
4 eyes and 2 skulls.
Yeah.
Made
Claws, too.
entirely of bone.
Yeah, and maybe anything to do with freaky deaky bones. Bad
I'm gonna be
vibe
watching him. See if he has a reaction to this as we're describing
Okay,
it.
make an insight check.
14.
14. He kind of gets flustered, and he's like, "That's not anything that anybody's ever asked about. And we don't have all that many necromancy books, but I guess I can go look and see if we have anything with 4 eyes and 2 skulls."
Yeah, just give it to me first before.
Okay, yes, I'll make sure to give it to you.
Yes, yes, and I will relay the information to them that they need to know.
Okay. Yep. He.
He gives you an extremely large and distorted wink through his glasses.
Owl wink.
And then he
Right.
disappears back into the stacks.
Great, and I'll keep pretending to be Gabe, and I'll be like, "How is your day here been, Ori, and the facilities?" And like, I don't know, just make up small talk.
Say toodaloo every once in a while.
Yeah. Oh, I just said toodaloo to him, and he went toodaloo to that idea.
Okay. Rutherford, you're up in Glenda Knightseat's office.
That's what I would like.
Her office door is open.
He's so approachable.
I hear she's
very
approachable. Just kind of like
Maybe
lean
you
in
don't
and
want to approach her anymore.
knock on the door frame.
Yes, hello.
Hi. Sorry to bother you. I'm visiting from Alderheart. My name's Rutherford. Like, I step in and offer a paw to shake.
She stands up and shakes your paw.
I've heard wonderful things about you. I hear that you're the professor of the necromancy department. You focus on theoretical necromancy. My father was a mortician, so I grew up around all sorts of, you know, texts on death and the caring for those at the end of their life and that sort of thing. And I felt I had to come and speak with you and get to know you a little bit.
Very good. Yeah. It's all theoretical necromancy is what we're allowed to study and what has been studied since the incident, as I'm sure Dean Winsworth kind of spoke with you about, right? So there's a transfer of power and the getting rid of the corrupted people. Anyway, necromancy used to be a problem, so now it's just theoretical. I've only studied theoretical necromancy, and I just look at it like necromancy disrupts the balance of life and death, and my students should know how to counter that.
Yes, pardon me for not knowing. But what really is the difference between theoretical and practical? I know some magic, but it's almost more of a sorceress kind of thing I can summon. It's not really a learned and studied. How does it really work?
I mean, it
Where
works
do
like
draw that line?
we study how it works and why it does what it does. But don't practice it. Like I'm not out here with power word kill in my spell book. And I mean it's quite simple. What is theoretical mathematics versus applied mathematics?
I see. Interesting. And I want to kind of just like engage her in a pseudo intellectual conversation.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm a layperson interested in learning about this. Tell me about what you do. And like having picked up a few bits of what she might be researching, like ask questions about those and get her all science nerd excited and lull her into a false sense of security that I am her friend.
Okay. Yeah. Make a persuasion check.
11.
11?
Ooh,
is okay.
but no, but I look at my little token and I'm fidgeting with it as we're doing all of this, and I'm thinking of the right things to say, and I would like to take that with advantage.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah?
just roll it again.
Okay. Oh, damn it. No! It's terrible. It's
Another
still an 11. Ah, just kill me.
You see into the future, and there's nothing better you can say.
I already said the best things. I'm the suavest man I could be. All right.
She's quite pleasant. She like engages in your semi-intellectual conversation and like answers your questions about um theoretical necromancy and things like that. And while you're chatting with her, she what is she doing? Hmm. Okay. Yep. She's very interested in resurrection, like in theory.
Mm-hmm.
Um.
Resurrection is different from reanimation, and yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Actually bringing people back to life, like that is what she likes to research, and she hasn't
Mhm.
made any huge breakthroughs on that, but that's like a lot of what she's working on. She'll talk about that for a long time. Um. And as you're chatting with her, you also notice she has a bookshelf. Um, she has various necromancy books on her bookshelf. Um, there's like, I don't know, necromancy for the theoretical necromancer.
Mhm.
There's a book called Skeletons in Your Closet. There's a book called various other things about necromancy. And there's a book called Necronomicon Ex Corvus, and there's a book called Necromancy for Dummies. And there's a book called Theoretical Necromancy for the first year student. Lots of books on necromancy.
Mhm. Okay. Latin sounds interesting.
Mhm.
Doesn't seem like a thing that exists in this world. As we're having this conversation, I would like to surreptitiously mage hand that book out of its little spot
Mhm.
and sneak it somewhere else so that
Okay.
she doesn't know.
Roll sleight of hand.
18.
18. Let me roll for her.
So it was necromancy X Corvus or something.
Necronomicon Ex Corvus.
Necronomicon
Yeah.
X Corvus.
Perfect. Yeah. You snatched that book.
Okay. I would also like to work in the conversation, having met some alum. Does she know Susan of the Swamp? Does she know
She
Jebediah?
she knows all the people that you've met.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she has good things to say about all of them.
Mm-hmm. I'm not getting her
But
to
she
spill
also
any
doesn't
tea.
seem like the person that would talk shit on somebody.
Right, okay. Yeah, what was Jebediah like? I don't let on that he became a bad evil man.
Hmm.
What was he
You know,
like to the school?
Jebediah, he was kind of a squirrely little fella, but he really enjoyed my classes and was very invested in necromancy and was interested in the theoretical practical applications of necromancy.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Do you have any other students who currently share that same fervor?
There's always a couple, but Jebediah was something special.
You haven't seen anybody with that spark come through in a while. That's too bad.
Mm-mm.
It's always great to have a student who has interest like that. Is there anybody
That'd
else in
be
the school that shares that with you?
not really. I mean, I'm the only necromancy faculty, so unless I get a student in who has that spark, but there's some there's some first years that I have hopes for. We'll see.
Actually, I ran into a first year the other day. Figgery Figgins?
Great radio show.
Yes, yeah, we listened to it. He had a very interesting story on slimes last night. It was worth a listen. Um, is he in any of your your classes? Do you know him personally?
I don't think so. He's a first year, right?
Yes.
They don't take theoretical necromancy classes until at least their second year.
All right. Well, he seemed interesting to me. Perhaps you'll see more of him in the future. And I want to continue to probe about this purge of necromancers from the school that happened in the past. Try and get a little bit of information on that.
Yeah, I think she doesn't have more information. I'm pretty sure that the dean told you all this before, but you were all like, there's a lot of necromancers who have done bad things and come out of the school. And he was like, well, yeah, but the leadership used to be bad and they used to just let necromancer students come through like uncontrolled, basically. And then let them out into the world and then they would do bad things. And now they don't let them do that. They just do theoretical necromancy.
So who were the old professors of necromancy? What are they up to these days?
I think Glenda still taught.
Mhm.
It's just that they've cracked down on the students and what they get to learn.
Can I get some insight on that? Did she seem like really excited to talk about like, oh man, back when we used to cast Revivify on people and cause wounds and things. Oh, it was great. We actually got to do things with cadavers. Like, did she have any of that fondness for the old times?
Make an insight check.
12.
Maybe a little bit. Like you feel that there are pains doing necromancy research when you can't do necromancy.
So I do get the genuine sense that she isn't practicing necromancy on the sly. He's trying to abide by this new paradigm. Okay.
Yep.
In my investigations through the night, what kind of latches do these doors have? Like, if the badges open them, is it like a swipe that then does like in our world a magnetic lock that then pulls in and lets you open the door, or is it magically sealed, or is it a physical mechanism?
I think it's magic. Magically sealed. I'll go with that. There might also be a physical component. Maybe you hear like a click. But then also, I mean, the badge is doing something magic.
Yeah. Can I look at the door frames as we're going through all of this and like see where a deadbolt would fit for this mechanism?
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing I would like to do while we're having this conversation is using some fabric or duct tape, for a lack of a better word, find some way to patch over the deadbolt slot on her door. See if I can find a way to force it into an unlocked position.
Okay. Make a Arcana check.
9.
9. You find a way to confidently say that the deadbolt won't do anything, but you're a little concerned that there will be some kind of alarm if the door is tampered with, which you can proceed with if you want to, or you cannot.
We'll try it on a different door first.
Okay.
Not hers. What other bits of information should I gather, gang? Speak to me through the ether. What am I forgetting to ask?
No clue.
Alright.
I mean,
Has she heard of any skeleton beasts?
yeah.
How familiar is she with skeletal abominations?
Necromantic beasts? I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Let's talk a little bit about conjuration and elementals versus necromancy and skeletons and like, oh, what's what? How do you get a thing? What is it? What's a necromantic summon look like versus an elemental summon?
My My father used to tell me about a necromantic abomination that had 2 heads and 4
skulls.
eyes.
But not the way you'd think they were.
Worse.
And maybe curses people.
Especially first years. That are a little bit like Colin Creevey or whatever his name was in Harry Potter.
That's it. Okay. She doesn't know what you're talking about with the 4 eyes, 2 skulls, not the way that they're supposed to be. But she goes on about how, like, elemental summoning brings something from a different plane. Like, an elemental from a different plane gets brought to our plane and then is stuck here because of the power of the magic caster. Versus necromancy summoning, you have to have a dead body and then you, like, put the magic in the dead body and then the dead body is controlled by your magic. Which is similar, she agrees. But the rules are the rules.
Okay. So we'll wrap up this conversation. I will make sure that I give her the cookie as a sign of goodwill and invite her to dine at some point. Develop a
Pavlovian
friendship.
response.
Yes. Get some kind of
Rutherford
relationship
equals
building.
cookie.
Yeah.
Perfect. She
And then
likes the
also,
cookie.
now that I understand what Sean is actually saying and how that's influenced this conversation, I meant actually say, would you like to go to dinner with me and my traveling companions? We can discuss, and build a friendship.
Yeah.
Great.
She says she's free in a couple days, so she'll join you in the cafeteria then. But you have, like, it'll be fine. We're gonna take a break. And then those of you who haven't told me what you're researching, which I think is just Connor, will say what you're researching. And then it's going to be like a couple day jump anyway, because that's going to take time. So,
I see.
What if Vigorous
She'll-
Bacon dies of a mysterious curse?
well,
It's a
That's what
very
we're posed on him every
slow
day.
and benevolent curse, right? I mean, he saw it through the window. Can't
Curse
be
is
as bad.
not known for being particularly fast, I will say.
windows protect you from curses.
Yeah, it's like looking at a snake through a mirror, and that way you're only partially petrified in the Chamber
Any
of
snake.
Secrets.
Just
And
any
then,
snake.
no, the
through there.
basilisk.
Every
Just a-
snake.
just a
Well, when you're a
generic
bird,
snake.
any snake does it.
Okay, break. we're back.
What?
What? I think is everybody in the library? Bohuckle's studying. Mungojerry's studying. Ori's studying. Rutherford,
Yeah.
Rutherford will make it
What
back
are-
to the library.
what are you doing?
Yeah, we'll go to the library. Try and find. You know what? No, we'll just sort through the books that we've been provided, and I'll be a good little boy for a while. Just do some reading.
I think all the information that you guys get, you'll get in like 2 days. So we can say we can just like fly through that a little bit. So you study for a day. The end of the first day, you go back to your rooms and everything's been kind of like you can tell everything's been ransacked, and then they tried to put it back in the place that it was.
They're not even good at searching. Like,
Mm-hmm.
wow.
But nothing has been taken. You can just tell everything's like slightly moved.
I think we never leave anything valuable in our rooms.
Good thing we don't have much of value. Suspiciously steaming kettle aside.
It's just constantly emitting steam now.
I just like top it off with water every day. Like it just boils off the water and I keep refilling
Like it very quickly, yeah.
Yeah. I've now pretending to drink a lot of tea. Actually, no, I'm not pretending. I am drinking much more tea now.
You're having to pee a lot more.
I have like a constant hot water supply, and I am now taking advantage of that by intaking way more tea than necessary. But it makes me stay up late for the researching. So, like I'm really focused. That L-theanine's got me focused in. Great.
Okay.
I'm not going to do it. I feel like they didn't get what they wanted.
They didn't get what they wanted.
I'll have you hold
Is
the
no
rock
one
again
concerned
tomorrow.
about this?
It's obviously the dean.
They want those bones.
They want those bones.
What, the bones? How do they know about the bones? Wait, you brought the bone.
I brought the bones.
What did they say about the bones?
They said these are not magic or something like that, and they were under a zone of truth, so they had to be telling the truth. And also, when the professor was under a zone of truth, mighty suspicious, I will say. Just not one reassuring statement was uttered under that zone of truth. I would say incriminating, actually. Like lack of, not just lack of information, positive suspicious information.
Bohuckle, we know you love a good conspiracy, so maybe let's find some cold hard facts before we listen to your zone of truth.
If somebody were to ask you a question and said, I don't know, just a yes or no question, and you go, well, I hope, and won't elaborate, that's suspicious.
You should have asked a better question.
I was asked very pointed questions, and he was pointedly not answering them. We can go do it again. I can cast a spell again. And we can say, did you ransack our rooms? And he would say, I am so sad that you think your room was ransacked.
I don't want you to feel unwelcome.
I don't want you to feel unwelcome. It would be mighty unfortunate. That's what he...
I'm
No, the
sad-
real
I'm
meat
sad
and
to hear
potatoes
that
of the
you think that
situation
your
is
rooms
what
have
would
been
we even
sacked.
do?
What would we even do?
He's the headmaster of the entire school.
True.
You can't really confront him directly.
Oh, we
But
can't.
we barricade ourselves in his office. We have the ear of the whole school.
We have the
We have the Toodaloo power.
We broadcast the truth to the whole student body.
Yeah, we should.
We'll use the radio too.
Yeah.
We can't get access to the PA system.
We can use the underground pirate radio, pirate magic radio.
Oh, let's tune into the radio. Make sure Figure's still alive, and then we'll just turn it back off.
Is there any? Well, Abby, hold on. Before, is there any indication? Was it like a lot of of who it might have been who did this? Like teacher, student.
Who ransacked your room? No
Yeah,
idea.
magical
How are you going to
servitor.
tell that?
I don't know. Like who would have access to our room? Conceivably, like I'm assuming they lock behind it with magic and with
Yeah.
physical
Okay.
lock.
So yes. Who would have access?
So
Probably anybody above
deduction-wise.
you.
Okay.
So like faculty, janitor, like there's probably
access to our
housekeeping.
personal rooms.
Yeah.
It's the janitors.
I'm gonna cast detect magic and make sure there's no bugs in here.
The door is magic.
Checks out.
All of our magic
all of
items
your
are magic.
items are magic.
Yep.
The radio is magic.
Uh-huh.
There's no bugs.
No unexpected magic items.
No.
What if we
You
set
tune
a
in.
trap?
You tune into the radio.
Uh-huh.
You hear. You're listening to Figure's
Okay, turn it off.
frequency.
He's alive.
He's alive for one more day.
It's a
Don't worry, I
48-hour
have a
curse.
spell. I have a spell. If he dies, we'll keep his corpse pristine.
That's very reassuring.
And
So
then
we
she
can
can
give
bring
it
it
to the theoretical necromancer? I mean, what's
I'm
the
saying
point?
she's interested in resurrection. We say now take our theory and apply
That's illegal. And frowned upon.
it.
Okay, I
Do
don't
we
want to
want-
do anything else besides get the research, I think, for now.
Do we want to set a trap? See if they ran.
Yeah, Ori wants to do
Yeah,
something.
That's
All right.
I think Ori and Rutherford are in the same boat here. If things have not been explained to us, Rutherford does find this quite suspicious.
They don't have. We don't know that
Explicitly
they have any reason.
Do not
Yeah.
explain it to Rutherford.
Yeah, okay. So Rutherford is going to spend some time investigating. Did it seem like, oh man, they really searched where Bohuckle left all his stuff?
Yes.
Oh, so it seems like it's Bohuckle's problem. What do I know about Bohuckle?
1 + 1 does not equal 2, Rutherford.
I assume I can piece this puzzle together.
Probably.
Yeah, okay. Bohuckle.
Yes,
You said you went and had the bones investigated, the bone fragments.
correct.
Was there anything else that you had investigated?
First,
If
cast
we were
zone of
under
truth
zone
on
of truth-
yourself.
we were under zone of truth.
It would have been convenient if I had something else investigated.
I noticed that you forgot to ask me to give you the feather token to get identified if you were going to get the investigation services.
Truly, honestly, this is zone of truth. This is for real. I forgot that you needed me to do that.
But
Alright,
he now
alright.
knows the guy who can help you out.
Yeah.
But Fred, the whole investigation department. Anyway, yeah, I had them investigate the stone. Bad vibes all around. They went over into the corner and huddled and whispered, "We need to get that." And then I skedoodled out of there. They're onto it. They said, "We need this."
Mhm.
Not how can we help? They said we need this, and they were still under zone of truth, mind you.
And we want this. It was something like, yeah, we
Yeah,
want.
something
we want that.
not good. So I've hidden it, and they can't find it.
Okay. Well, it would seem to me that we have leverage over them at this point then. We have something they want.
They're all quite magical. They could probably. I don't know what leverage we would have over them.
We have something they want. That's the leverage we have over them.
It would be bad PR if they did do something bad to us. We are the heroes of Alderheart.
And we can certainly string them along as well. Say
We
we'll
have
give them the
Figure
stone
on our side.
Well, what do
if
we
they
want to
help
get
us
out
with
of
so
them?
and so. That's what I'm posing that question right now. What would we like? Is there something
The
that we
dean
think
is
they...
a 100% involved in the figgery affair.
Okay. Is that what we want to get to the bottom of?
Well, I
I
mean, at
figure
the
we've
very
got one
least,
good shot at blackmail here, so let's not waste it on something we don't need figured out.
Well, we certainly need the magical beast thing figured out, and then we also need to know how to stop the Scorch Grove, which somehow nobody seems concerned about at all.
Nobody at all.
No one. So they live in a stone tree. What if I liked what you were doing yesterday, Uncle, with that looking like Gabe. That has
Oh, did you? Yeah, it was quite fun.
very good, yeah.
Toodaloo is kind of a fun word to say. I can see why he picked it.
Just roll out of the beak. Maybe we could go and talk to Fred. You as Gabe.
Oh, about a
like-
secret special project.
Yeah, I'd be like, I completely forgot the specifics of the conversation we had yesterday. Could you remind me?
Refresh me on what. Any
Or-
updates, Fred?
Oh, we could just go in, but I could say, we could pretend like yesterday didn't happen. And we do the whole thing again. And he's like, this is weird. I thought I did it yesterday. But both of us are pretending that hasn't happened. And he's very confused.
No, no Groundhog Day. I feel like I could be Gabe again and try and see what Fred knows. Fred seems like the weak link, not Gabe.
Fred is the weak.
the identification master, he doesn't know any other spells. So. I would be interested in visiting the guards. If they're perch guard, they wouldn't actually answer to the headmaster. They would technically answer to Alderheart and would just be temporarily under his jurisdiction. And I think we have stronger connections to Alderheart than the Avium does at this point. Might be worth it, Rutherford, if you came with me and we met with the head guard or something.
Agreed.
At the very least, I think it's suspicious that they ransacked our room, and if we have evidence of them tampering with us, it looks badly on them, and would maybe having a third party who could intervene to either calm things down or be on our side would be valuable.
Yes, I agree.
And if there's a giant skeleton monster somewhere and they haven't figured it out, what are they doing?
Do
Really?
they even know there's a giant skeleton monster? Were they
They
even
probably
They're
informed?
don't.
very well aware that they are. It's not a monster, so they know what it is.
Well, okay, so it sounds like we're going to go see Fred, and you're going to go see the guards.
Split the
What
team.
time of night? Is it nighttime? When are we? When are
It's the morning.
It's the morning. Okay. Yeah.
Did I flip through that Necronomicon Ex Corvum and get a vibe check from it? Is it Grey's Anatomy but for birds, or is it here's how you summon Orcus? I don't need like details specifically. Right now,
I
just
would
a vibe
say
check.
if that's the scale, it's like an 8. 1 to 10
Yep,
is
okay.
like an 8.
Yeah, this is a serious book. All right.
Yeah.
It's going somewhere not in the room. I'm just gonna keep it on my person at all times.
We're keeping our objects close. People are feeling a little just welcome to take whatever they want in this place. It sounds like
Well, I mean, I'm not. I did do that.
you did.
Yes,
But it's
technically
very
you
double
are a
plus.
thief walking with the stolen book, but
Well, I would much rather I have it than someone else. That's why I took it in the first place.
True. Oh, good. Good.
The
good
owner is
rationale.
included on that list.
Yes.
of people you don't want to have it.
Yes.
The person who's probably already read it.
So why
Right,
does she need
so-
it?
I
Not doing her much good
will
now, is it?
Cast disguise and become Gabe.
Yeah.
And I will walk with Bohuckle.
Okay, Uncle, okay. You're gonna have to
Um,
pretend. I'm gonna cast Zone of Truth again, so he has to.
Okay, yeah, you probably should hide so Fred doesn't see you. So I can pretend like we're having a secret
Oh.
mano-a-mano convo.
Oh, then I can't cast on him. It's
Oh.
sort of he has to there.
We're gonna hope that he'll tell Gabe the truth
Okay.
and nothing
I
but the
will-
truth.
Cast enhance ability on you,
Ooh.
and I will give you Eagle Splendor. You have advantage on all charisma checks for an hour.
Nice.
Love that. For me, I preen in my new Luma persona. Feeling good. Great. So I'll be like, all right, well then, Bohuckle, enjoy your day. I will go do my duties. Da 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 da. And then
Master extraordinaire.
I pay Toodaloo as I leave.
Toodaloo. And I will go to Fred's desk because
Okay.
in the identification bureau,
Yep.
and I'll say, knock, knock, knock. Fred.
Oh, hello, Dean. Hello, Dean.
Fred, I just thought we could have a quick little chat. And then he like hustles in the door and closes the door behind. I'm imagining Fred has like a little office with a desk where like doodads are that people just like drop
Yeah, I
off.
imagine that there's. I don't think it's like that. I think it's like there's a main hallway, and
Mhm.
he just has like a little cutout that has a big question mark like printout above it, and he
Need
just
to
sits
find
at
out
this
what this
little
is?
cutout desk. Yep.
Fred, we really need to talk about getting you a better office. And he like, it's about time you're due for a raise. We can get you an office of your own. You won't have to sit out here in the corridor. And he's like, is there like a conference, an empty conference
Yeah,
room we
there's an
can?
empty conference.
Okay, yeah, I'll like grab that and like, I don't know, coffee and be like, here, I got you a cup. Now, we should talk. We should catch up on some things.
Fred, have you made any progress on the project?
I haven't. I tried, but no luck. How about you?
I haven't tried. You said let me handle it, and so I did that.
I'm still handling it. But I need to get my hands on this object, so I really need to know what it does, so that because I mean I saw your feathers charring instantly. How can I safely handle it?
Uh-huh. Make a performance check or a deception check.
Tell me everything you know. I will. You said performance.
Yeah,
I'll do
or deception.
I will do performance. I am a boss who's just here to listen to their very dedicated employee and like
Mhm.
hear their really good ideas because we're all in this together. 15.
Yeah, that's good. Fred's like, well, yeah, identify identify. You know what identified is. But you said tell me everything you know. So this
Yeah.
might be a test.
Yes, I want you to sum up the information in a cogent
Yeah.
way.
So when you identify something,
Mhm.
you identify the object, and it tells you what the object is. But it only tells you what the object is if it's like a specific magic object. I don't know. This thing is like super powerful,
Mhm.
and it is a super burny. But
Yeah.
I'm really.
Yeah.
It seems like it's
I got
part
that from the Bernie Feather
Mhm,
situation.
Um, and it has got a lot of like evocation conservation magic thing happening, and it seems. I mean, I identified it, and I was like, "This is the most powerful thing I've ever identified in my entire life." So of
Okay.
course we need to have it, and also it seems super dangerous.
Got it. Got it. And
And
yeah, like how
it
are they
seems
handling
like,
it if you can't handle it?
yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you don't know either? You didn't
Nope.
have any thoughts in the night and nothing came to you?
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right. Well, I will handle it. And knowing my skill set, what do you think I will do? This is also a test.
This is the
Were
promotion
you
test.
were you in my situation? How would you handle this?
How would you use my skills to do the thing? Yeah,
Well-
knowing what you know about the object.
This is a
told-
problem-solving quiz.
You told me yesterday that you were going to go search in their room, which I thought was a good idea. Because
Yep,
why would
I
you carry
did.
that around with you? It's
Didn't
very
find
dangerous.
it. Didn't find it.
Didn't find it.
No.
Well, that's a dead end. Then you wouldn't just go take it from them. So you would probably just like let them feel comfortable and then search their room again. I bet.
Okay. Yeah, that does seem like me. Less work involved. No direct confrontation. Anybody else know about this? Did we like should we be letting anybody else in on the team like get the mystery fire object thing? Do we need more hands? Would you
That's up
recommend
to
us?
you.
Okay.
You said don't tell anybody ever. But if you wanted to tell someone, I wouldn't have the power over you to tell you not to do that.
Good. Fred, you've passed this test with flying colors. I will get you here. Have whipped cream on this coffee. And, and a chocolate chip hazelnut cookie to boot. And yeah. Does it seem like Fred knows anything else about anything? We're getting the distinct sense that it's only us two
No, he
talking.
has
on this little team that we're on.
he has the sense that the object is part of something bigger, which is why it didn't like identify fully. But it obviously is very powerful magically.
And so thus like they feel entitled to have it because it's magical and exciting.
Yeah, and if they can like yeah, it's exciting. There's a mystery to be solved about like what else it connects to.
Yeah, but they're
And
not
what it
like
does and
we
why it-
need this for our evil necromancy
No.
plot. Okay.
They could save a lot on heating.
a lot.
Could save a lot on heating. And then I think I will totally on out of there unless anybody else has questions.
Ask
That-
about figuring.
Oh.
I told you I also had him identify the bone.
Oh yeah, that's true. And those bones. I mean, what was that all about?
I don't know. Why did he just have random necromancy bones?
Yeah, what are random necromancy bones? Can you tell what they used to do? I
This
mean,
is
I
also a
can't.
test.
I need Fred. I need you to tell me this because we can't have a repeat of what happened a few years ago. I need to know if there are necromancers around.
I was like, well, if there's necromancy bones, there's probably necromancers. But how do you know that that blue chicken's not a necromancer? He's the one that had the bones. And the bones did the same thing as that weird orb thing where it's like they were part of something bigger, so I can't really identify them, but I can tell that they're magic kind of thing.
Fred, I love you. I really do. But I'm gonna recommend that you up level your identification skills to objects outside of magic. Outside of the known, we're gonna have to work on theoretical identification. It's okay. You're still getting a promotion. It's good. We're gonna we're just gonna take things a little. We're gonna learn to take things a little further in the identification realm. Don't worry. I'll work out a syllabus. It'll be great. And he's
Fred
like, "Okay,
looks crestfallen.
don't take it to heart, Fred. I mean, you're doing the best you can. It's just we're in turbulent times. What with the Scorch Grove and Figgery being sick and Alderheart breathing down my neck to help these adventurers. It's just a lot. It's not your fault. It's just there's these times, there's unprecedented things happening. And he's like, we'll talk about this again. Don't worry, better office. You're doing great. And then toodaloo, bye. And I will toddle off.
Toddle off.
I will toddle off
Perfect.
and go, I don't know where. I'll go find Bohuckle and go to the bathroom and come out a chicken. Well, Bohuckle, Fred he knew enough to know he wanted the thing, but he did not know what the thing was.
You really upgraded his identification.
It's quite frustrating.
He's not going to go anywhere if he can just plateau at that level.
Yes, it's
Anyway,
true.
it sounds like the dean's not a very confrontational person, so I could probably take the rock.
Do you want? Are you sure? I mean, I have unlimited tea now.
I think
Okay, I'll give you reluctantly, and I like sigh.
But
and
you
I
can
say,
use it if you ever
It's
need. If
okay,
you ever
all
need
right.
tea in a pinch.
Okay, great, thanks. And I reach into the boiling hot water and I fling it out. Back to you. Great. Well, I mean, I guess back to the library then. I just, see what they have on necromantic beasts with eyes and skulls and things that I asked for when I was Gabe.
Spend the day researching.
Yeah. When they what's his name? Mordain? Yeah.
Mordain.
Mordain. Do you go back as Gabe?
I think I will,
Okay.
and just be like
Yeah.
checking
When you-
in on my
I'll do a sweep
request.
and make sure Gabe's not down there.
Yeah.
Perfect. Gabe's not down there. You go
Good.
back as Gabe. Mordain tells you he wasn't able to find anything on this creature.
Really?
Really.
Okay.
Is
Well,
no one at the
that's-
school good at their job?
That's great news. That means that it can't possibly be real. All right, I did my job. I'll tell people that I looked into it. Thanks, Mordain. And
You're
I will
welcome.
go out and I'll come back in 10 minutes later as Mungojerry.
And the
Perfect.
university maintains its accreditation.
And Mungojerry will ask for his research.
Yep. He gives it to you. Rutherford, do you want to do anything while they're researching?
I was going with Ori to the security tower.
Oh yeah, security tower. Okay. What do you want to
mosey
do
on
at
up.
the security tower?
Just say hey, sniff around, be like, we met this wild bandit on the way here called Crawl. Have you heard of him? Took care of that, but I'm a little worried about the security in the area. You know, I wanted to get the lowdown on the security situation for this here avium.
There's a grizzled looking eagle raptor guy. He's like, I don't know what to tell you. We're low staff. There's this hubbub in Alderheart about the Scorched Grove. They've had to reallocate the perch guard.
Understaffed, overworked, I understand. That is perch guard life. That's just military life in general. I mean, have you no one's seen anything strange around the school at all? Did y'all
Not
do
that
any
I've
night
heard of.
patrols?
We do night patrols up here.
Just up here? Ah, it's like
What do
talking
they
to
even
an
do?
old
What do they
brick
do?
wall. An old grizzled brick wall. Okay, well,
I mean, we could do patrols elsewhere, but it's kind of hard to get around at night. I'm sure you've seen.
I mean, yeah, it is your job though, and I'm assuming some of you can fly. I mean, I'm not here to tell you how to do your job. I'm just interested, an interested party. You know,
Concerned
just
citizen.
you're right. There's a lot happening in Alderheart. As the heroes of Alderheart, me and my companions were just checking to make sure everything's okay in the avium while we take care of some council business. You know how it is.
I heard you were the defenders of Alderheart, not the heroes of Alderheart.
It's the same thing. A defender is a hero, wouldn't you say?
I don't know. I think hero's a step above.
But defender is definitely more of a subgroup.
Then perch
Like
guard.
it's any hero. Every defender is a hero, but not every hero is a defender. You know, like, we are the subset of hero that is.
How many
No.
defenders are tenders, though? And are the tenders...
The tenders are heroes too.
And this tender's a defender. This
This
defender.
tender's a sapling.
Tender's a seedling.
A seedling.
Yeah, I am a sapling. Thank you. Okay.
So you
Well-
think ground patrols? That's what you want us to do?
I just, it seems like there's still some bandit activity nearby.
Yeah, I
Maybe-
never heard of this crow guy.
I love this character because I hate him so much.
He's
It's
basically
really
the worst
amusing.
person I've ever met. Abby, can I get a
Well,
sense
I
of...
met him explicitly. I like opened my chest to where I was stabbed through the heart.
Abby, can I get a sense of if this guy is obstinate or just doesn't know anything? Like, is he hide?
Roll insight.
Yeah. 20.
He's apathetic and slightly obstinate.
So there is information.
Only slightly.
All right.
I don't not to say that he has any information, but he is enjoying not explicitly not
lazy-
doing what you guys are telling him to do. Yes.
Okay. Well, I believe I have some documents with some seals from the council. I believe serves as the command structure for the perch guard. Yes.
Maybe.
I feel like the toucan man we talked to that I forgot his
Yeah.
name. But
Gingerbeak.
Gingerbeak, yes, Gingerbeak. Thank you. Gingerbeak was a subordinate to the council. That was my impression.
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to put some pressure on him on this. What's his name? What's this captain of the guard's name?
Grizzle.
Radish beak.
Vinger Geek. Let's Eagle
No.
Raptor Man.
His name's Jerry.
Okay, Jerry, we're gonna put the squeeze on Jerry a little bit and throw down the badge and the paperwork and put a knife down on the table in my hand. Now, look, you need to be more forthcoming with me here. My friend is asking you some very straightforward questions, and you aren't doing anything to help us. And that's really going to have to change if your position in this nice cushy job here in the avium is going to continue to be what it is. Alright?
Well, intimidation.
Do I get advantage?
Sure.
Yeah! All you have to do is ask, guys, for a 19.
Okay. Yeah. He's like, all right. Ask your questions again. I don't remember them.
Oh my god.
You're a real charmer, I must say. Anyways, anything suspicious in the surrounding areas at all. From anyone. I don't care if it was the newest, greenest recruit that you just took on.
From the perch guard, there's this kid that made a hubbub about a monster. There was no signs of monster.
What do you mean there were no,
No
signs
signs
of
of
a
a
monster?
Well, this kid went to the dean, and the dean got all freaked out about this monster being a thing. And then we went down and checked it out. There's nothing.
What did you check, specifically?
Checked the tree. We checked the surrounding area. The kid said there was a big bone monster. There's no big bone monster. We didn't see that. Nothing climbing on the tree.
And you looked closely at the tree, yes?
We looked at the tree.
The main
all
problem
right.
here I'm seeing is that you looked once.
Yes.
You know,
So
usually you have to keep up a watch for a couple days, a week, a month maybe.
But the kid was just making something up.
no. Have you met the kid? As you're putting it? Have you met Figgery?
No.
That's the student's name. Yeah, they're basically dying right now from a curse. You seem very non-affected by this, so maybe you could get your rear in gear a little bit and dig in a little deeper as to why a student is dying of a curse. Hmm?
See, I was just told that he was sick.
Yes, well, obviously you aren't keeping up to date with what's going on with Figure now, are you?
No, I mean, he seems fine. He's running his radio station.
Have you seen the boy?
No,
His
well,
fur
I've
used to
already
be
told
brown.
you.
It is white now. He aged 90 days in the last 2 minutes.
That's a lot of his lifespan, okay?
He's a gerbine. They only live for a year.
2, if they're lucky. And guess what? He's not lucky anymore.
He stopped being lucky a while ago. Now, I would appreciate it.
I know for a fact that is not true.
Now you listen here. Don't tell us what we know and don't know. We're here to tell you what you know and don't know.
But yeah, if he's actually affected by a curse, that does seem to be cause for concern.
We also discovered something this morning that was a little disquieting. It seemed that someone was able to get access to our rooms and went through our belongings. Now, I don't know who's the thief in this avium, but seems like there's more things going on here than meets the eye.
Was anything taken?
Yes, our dignity and our sense of security.
Like, what the avium has a whole list of banned items, so they pretty much have access to everyone's rooms.
Specifically, 275 gold pieces, a silver statuette of the Amaranthine in full, and a personal diary.
We're
belonging to
taken?
we're taken from our room.
Make a deception check.
Only 10? No, that's not amazing.
Wow. Like, okay. Gets out a piece of paper.
Fine.
Starts writing
it was
down.
275 silver pieces. I exaggerated.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. He crosses out gold pieces, writes silver pieces. What else did you say? And he takes notes. I'll file this report. We'll find your things.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
I tried.
We're gonna
I
find your
tried.
stolen
You
things.
tried.
We're gonna look for this bone monster that the kid made up. Anything else?
You know, think about retirement, buddy. I think you deserve it. I got nothing else.
Hoodaloo to him.
Too dilute to him.
Good day.
Get
sir.
us out of here.
I do have another detour that I've come up with that I would
Okay.
like to go on.
Mm-hmm.
Can we find a maintenance department? Or do you want to
Yeah.
come figure out who patched some holes in some stone bark with me?
Sure.
Let's go find a maintenance department.
More fun than reading.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. And this feels more productive.
You find a maintenance department.
Can we pal around and ask them, like, oh yeah, we've got these like cracks in the stonework that are out over by the so-and-so department. What would you guys use to patch that up? Is there something we can do to, I don't know, it just
Patch
looks
the
ugly.
tree?
Yeah, the tree.
We don't patch the tree.
What? No, somebody was talking yesterday. They saw some like gouges in the tree that had been patched up. I thought you could maybe do that for our department too.
We don't patch the tree. Any damage to the tree is adds character. That's what the dean says. He doesn't want it patched.
The dean doesn't want it patched, huh? Huh, that's weird. Okay.
Hypothetically,
So
if
he can be the only one who patches it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he
So
doesn't
look
want
at-
he doesn't want it patched. We used to patch, and it kind of, I don't know. It just takes away from the majestic petrified tree, and then you fill it with whatever junk you've got, and it doesn't really match color, and like doesn't really work out. It's a different texture, so it's not that great.
What would you normally use for a patch? Previously?
I mean, when sometimes we had really talented people, because this is the APM, and we get talented people, and they would do like transmutation. That was the best, but if have some physical solutions too, they're not that great.
Okay. Well, can I don't want to take him to where the gouges are, but maybe like make up a sketch of like, oh, if you saw something like this, what would you do? How would you fix that? Where would you go about getting the supplies for that?
Do you draw it like it was, or like you think it would be without the patch?
Ooh. Like it was. Like, oh, okay, so this is how it was filled in. What kind of material would you use for that patch? Where could I get some of that? Is there a supply with like a checkout list? Is there like...
He's like, well, I wouldn't recommend patching the tree because that will get you in trouble with the dean. But
Sure.
if this is what you're looking at, this is just somebody did a bad transmutation, and this is just old. So that's just how it is.
Old bad transmutation. Interesting.
I mean, it has to be old because we don't patch the tree anymore, and it's bad because you can still see the scratch.
All right. No, thanks. I appreciate the help. All right. What you got, Ori? You got anything?
Nope.
All right.
Find everyone who can do transmutation magic.
Yep. That narrows it down a little.
What?
There wasn't.
Another?
There wasn't like I'm talking to the janitor again. There wasn't like a professor who specialized in the transmutation at one point. You know, like who helped you out, or it was just part of the staff?
Yeah, we'd have students do it and stuff. I mean, students.
We'd have
But they hire students for all sorts
cheap
of
labor,
unpaid
but
jobs around
bad
here.
work.
Yeah.
I feel ya. Okay. We'll find every student who can do transmutation magic.
Sounds good. Yeah, I feel really bad for that Fred guy. He doesn't get paid shit.
Well, he also
he
doesn't
works
do
hard
shit,
for
so-
nothing. Man, I wonder how he'd feel about a raise dangled in front of him, yet it never materializes due to strange and unforeseen circumstances.
It might be the origin of his villainous necromantic side story.
Gene Winsworth says, "Congratulations, you get a 5% raise. 5% of 0 is still 0."
Still 5%.
And 5% doesn't keep up with inflation.
Have we learned anything researching?
Yes. At the end of your day, you will learn what I sent you researching.
Oh, perfect.
I guess we'll go research. I'll go research.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, now I want to talk to Fred about a scratch.
Just go somewhere.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go
Fred,
research. I'm gonna go
I
research.
can't guarantee talking to Fred would be helpful.
Yeah. I will relay to the group that I think Fred is the one who covered up the scratches, and that obviously there's more that they know than they are letting on. But yeah, then just go to researching.
Possible it's Fred, but then Fred would know about the bones, maybe. No, maybe not.
I don't know.
Fred
Fred
probably
was
just
zone
got
of truth.
told, "Hey, go hide this."
Fred does what Fred does.
So the dean is covering it up.
Red only knows the identify spell. That's it.
It sure feels like it. He probably knows a
And he
weird amount
can't-
about
and
tax
he-
law too, but like,
And he can't make any conclusions beyond what the identify spell says. He can't go any
That would be
further than that.
conjecture, and that's illegal and potentially misleading for students.
And he's
Alright,
constantly
fine.
under the zone of truth spell, so he can't mislead.
His booth is actually a zone of truth
That
spell.
question mark is the apex of the zone of truth spell. Oh, okay, great. So we learn our questions.
You learn
the
your
answers
questions.
to our questions. So I asked about the Scorch Grove, or the origins of the Scorch Grove.
Mm-hmm.
I found out a lot. I don't know about you guys.
I found out
There's a
good
lot to
deal.
learn.
Oop, I found out a lot too, but the amount of information that was actually useful was small.
What did you guys ask? Remind me of what your questions were.
Every single piece, every single word in mine was very useful information. I asked about steam methods, the origins and characteristics thereof.
Forgot about that. Yeah, okay. What did you
then-
ask, Ori?
And then I asked a
Oh.
twofer. And the second one was about specifically and exclusively the snakes that live in the Scorched Grove.
Yes, they are troublesome, those snakes.
But majestic.
But majestic. And plentiful. There was 20 of them or something
Yeah,
that
they-
surrounded us. What'd you ask, Sean?
I was interested in the origin of the Tenders and their relationship with the Scorched Grove.
Hmm.
I looked
And did
into
you ask,
that.
Connor, what did you end up asking? No.
show didn't.
All right.
We do a
I
practical
said-
kind of research around here.
Well, I'll start with mine, I guess, because mine's the basic knowledge of the origin of the Scorched Grove, which happened hundreds of years ago. And basically, it was some sort of elemental conjuring that they don't know from what plane, but it is. There's a lot of useless debate between two different sides of what plane it could have come from, but don't get distracted by that because it's not important.
Because they don't know.
What's important is that the Scorched Grove is a site of extraordinary magical significance, and it contains the presence of an elemental force of great power. We knew that already. And there is a stone circle in the middle of the grove that seems to be the center of the spell, and somebody at some point was powerful enough to summon it here.
We don't know anything like that.
Hmm.
Out of curiosity,
No magic stones.
were the two planes like magma and lava or something? Why is this a contentious debate? Like,
Because academics like to debate. No, it's more about how close the plane was to ours because how well the elemental force integrated with our own magic system.
okay.
But it seems complex enough to hint at a further plane, but it integrated so well and created this fire zone that they think it might be a closer plane.
So
I did not get useful words like fire or magma.
Well, going along with that, I learned from researching the Tenders that they have been successful in pushing back the Grove slightly. And it seems like, as we sort of know, there is an elder elemental of fire and stone in the grove. Apparently, they tried to negotiate with it and talk to it. I mean, because usually elementals are sentient to some extent, I guess, depending. But it didn't work, as we can see. And they've just had to sort of deal with the aftermath after that. So not super helpful. But if it's an elemental from another plane, it can probably be sent back.
Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me.
Bum,
So help
bum,
me.
bum.
What you got?
Okay, it's very
Bohuckle.
long. I'll give you the most important bit. A cultural trait of the methods is their adoption of sheriff attire, an eclectic mix of scavenged garments from various planes. This sartorial choice, while seemingly incongruous, reflects their self-styled roles as enforcers of a loose and highly personal interpretation of the law. Interestingly, their badges are often made from repurposed machinery parts, and each badge is unique to its owner.
I love everything about that sentence.
What a cultural insight.
What? Wow. And the use of sartorial just really
That's a $12
chef's
word.
kiss.
I mean, gosh.
Also,
Great.
the snakes are like fake elementals. They pretend to be elementals, but they have to eat. But real elementals don't have to eat. So no, but it's an academic debate on if they're really elementals or not.
They're quasi
It's a
elementals.
dragon
Yep.
versus worm discussion.
All right, Abby, as a
Yeah.
normal person in Humblewood,
Mhm.
elementals, do they exist in like the cultural understanding of the world? Like, am I like, oh my god, elementals, new information, or I'm like, yeah,
They-
that makes total sense.
They exist. They're not common. Like a strong wizard could summon an elemental,
Okay.
and that's normal. That's not like weird.
And if the wizard dies, the elemental just stays.
No? I think normally elementals just get summoned for like an amount of time.
Okay, well, we have a few elementals on the loose.
There's also elementals like the Mephits, the steamy boys.
Unfortunately, we don't know how they travel the plane.
But they do travel the plains collecting their
On-
various bits of
Yes.
clothing.
And
I mean, they
bring
probably
their
travel on
lightning bugs with them.
fireflies.
Yeah.
Interplanar fireflies.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. It's all coming together. I'm getting a clearer picture by the minute.
We send the Mephits to the fire elemental.
A
And we
horde
say,
of
put them on your
fireflies.
fireflies, boys, and get them out of here.
Tow this guy out.
You tow this guy right out.
Yeah, so my question is, if somebody summoned this big elemental hundreds of years ago, how is he still here?
That's a good question.
It's a
I love
good
having
cue.
Good questions.
Only way to find out is to go ask him.
You
We
think it
just
has
gotta
to do
go-
with the big circle of stones in the middle of the scorched grove?
I think the circle of stones are certainly important.
I think
Yeah.
the steam methods summoned. Okay, so they also hear me out. They also have a holiday, and they like to be in steam baths. And what? Maybe they
Better
got a
way.
little carried away when they were
Hmm.
making a steam bath in the area known as the Scorched Grove. That stone circle is a jacuzzi outline. They got way too carried away.
No
And then the
more,
scorched grove.
no more hot water. It all evaporated.
Yep, it's all gone.
The eternal jacuzzi.
And now they're stranded here, looking for the next
Looking
jacuzzi.
for the next jacuzzi.
Trying to bring back the original great
In these
jacuzzi of the
notes,
past.
since we're told about a stone circle, did anybody mention anything about like see appendix for conjuring circles? You know, that kind of like their footnote on conjuring circles and how's those work.
But you could research those next session.
I sure will. Why not? Seems like I'm gonna be here. But before we go to bed or do anything, I think we should make a fake hot stone for
Yes.
Gage to take.
Ah, perfect. Let's make a stone, and then in the morning I can cast continual flame on it.
Yes.
Ooh.
Let's do that.
And then
For
we'll
no
leave it
other reason than to mess
conspicuously
with
out.
Gabe.
I like this.
Now it's just a prank war with the dean of a magic school.
He should be breaking and entering and taking things that aren't his.
And he can't cast Identify, so he'll never know it's not the real rock.
And I've destabilized his relationship with Fred.
We're sabotaging all of his interpersonal relationships.
Planted the seeds of disunion.
I've ruined Fred's confidence in his ability.
One disguised self at a time. I think Fred's susceptible to bribery too.
It's possible.
He gets paid nothing?
I know, it's bad news for Fred.
He's far too
That, or
susceptible
we
to
need-
disguise self, so it tells me he's susceptible to a lot of things.
We need a revolution of the people through the radio.
Yeah.
The workers must rise up.
Either that or we try to lure a monster to chase us in the night. I mean, I don't know.
Or we do night patrols, yeah.
What if the monster was going after him because of his radio? So if we broadcast on the radio, it would come after us.
Does he broadcast at night? We'd have to go ask him.
He also
I
is
wonder if-
still actively broadcasting.
Yeah, but he's already been
True.
first.
He's doomed to die. They don't.
Does
Yeah.
it just apply a curse and that's it? It just looks scary.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually do anything to you other than look at you to curse you.
The
Maybe
stress.
The
it
size
makes him
is just
ugly,
not
so
doesn't
he could
matter.
never be on TV. He has to stay on radio for the rest of his
Yeah.
career.
That makes sense.
It's actually just a big fan of radio.
It knew that Figgery was
He was gonna make
It-
it big,
gonna be
and
the
they had to
radio
hold it
star
back.
that was
They
gonna
had
bring
to
back
hold him back.
radio.
It makes perfect sense.
This isn't
He just
malicious
wanted
at
to be
all.
friends. We just wanted to be friends with Figgery. Oh.
Just technological preservation, that's all.
Hmm. Sounds like we have a solid plan. We know exactly what we're doing, and
We'll have
Nothing
this
to-
mystery solved first thing
In
next
no
session.
Easy
time.
peasy.
It is definitely
Perfect.
a lead.
You're definitely on some track.
we're on to some things.
We are on a track to somewhere.
hmm
That might
That's
be
a
going
true
little far.
fact.
We
The-
can say
track
that in a
could be
zone of
circle.
That's still to somewhere.
That's still, yeah. Even if it's the same place, it's
So
still
that
somewhere.
somewhere just changes every second. So you go.
It's
in a
just the
circle.
next, section of the track.
Perfect. We will pick this up next time. If you watch and have ideas on what you want them to research, let them know.
We
Otherwise,
always need research ideas.
we should be back next week, pending any scheduling conflicts. So we'll see you then. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for having fun, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.